Hey guys, this is Movie Magic and Gaming Gurus 35. Yes, this is our
Wow.
35th edition, and this is fantastic. To think in five more chats will be at number 40.
I know. It's insane.
So I'm going to start off by saying I'm feeling bloody fantastic. I've had a haircut. People, please make jokes about my head. I would love that
The
right now.
Hugo.
And oh dear. And I just got myself in my era.
Oh dear.
Because I got the thing, didn't I? The bit on to, anyway. So
Oh,
how
you've
you,
opened the YouTube page. You haven't
yeah,
even introduced me, so I'm just some
so,
random person sat here.
so yeah, we've got some random persons today. We've replaced Sketchney. Yeah, Sketchney's not here no more, but today we've got Tash. So, Tash, how you doing?
I'm doing good, thank you. Just it's been awful weather here lately. So, well, Saturday was lovely, but today and that it's been tipping down. So no sunbathing for me. So still
What?
recuperating after LFCC to be honest. Oh, excuse me. To be honest, I'm a bit better, obviously, being in the other room. But
So, what you been up to?
I've actually been writing. I've been getting back to some review writing and that. So it's nice to finally get working
Yeah,
again on that stuff. Especially because because editing takes so much. I mean, after what you did recently with your
yeah,
review that got taken down. Editing can take so much out of you that you take a break afterwards, and then it takes a little while to get back into the flow of it, kind of thing. So I'm getting back into it. It's just I can see the finish line in
yeah.
the distance, and there's so much other stuff that I want to be working on, and I'm finding myself a little distracted, and I'm like, but I need to get to that finish line, and all this other stuff is kind of like, but we want to be written, we want to be written, and it's kind of distracting because I want to write those, but I'm not in the head zone to work on those, so I'm
Yeah.
like, I want to work on this other, the rant stuff, so. I'm doing starting. I took a week off from doing the movie night reviews, so I'm getting back to doing that this week. So,
Nice.
but I don't think the movie I've got tonight is really going to do much to get me into the full swing of.
What is it?
It's The Longest Yard, starring Burt Reynolds.
Oh no.
Um, And I know I tried watching it. I started watching it years ago when I first got it on DVD, but I'd seen the remake with Adam Sandler more recently, so I was
Yeah.
really struggling because I was drawing comparisons between the two. So I stopped watching it. So technically, I haven't even watched it the whole way through before. So tonight will be my first encounter with watching it the whole way through. So it'd be interesting to see.
It's the original one, isn't it?
Yeah, it's the original one. So
Yeah, because the other one really, really is bad.
yeah. Yeah, the Adam Sandler one. I enjoyed the Adam Sandler one. I found the Adam Sandler one more comedic. Everybody makes out like the Burt Reynolds one is really funny, and from what I remember, I didn't remember it being that funny at all. So
Might be old school humour.
yeah, exactly. It could just be like Burt Reynolds' way. I don't know, but I didn't watch that far through the first time I watched it, so I'll be interested to go back to it tonight. So
I've
after the
never,
chat.
I've never been a big Burt Reynolds fan.
No, I'm not, to be honest.
I
I think
think
the
the only,
funniest thing I ever remember him from was in the X-Files episode he did, and I love him as the voice of Charlie in All Dogs Go to Heaven.
I think the only thing I liked him in was Cop and a Half
Mm,
and Archer.
yeah,
So in a way, it's the same for us because X Files
it's
and Archer are two TV series.
yeah, exactly.
So
Not his big film movies kind of thing,
I've never
his
really,
big movie.
I've never really watched a lot of them to be honest.
No,
I mean, a lot of them are coming out on Blu-ray now.
yeah. I never liked Boogie Nights. I know that was a big cult hit, wasn't it?
Hmm. Again, I've never seen that.
No. I started watching it, but I turned it off. Like, it was on TV, and I started watching it, and I was like, this isn't for me, and I turned it off. So
Why not?
what?
Why wasn't it for you?
I don't know. You know what? It was a few years back, and I remember tuning in for it because I'd heard mixed reviews about
You
it,
know.
and I think it was on Channel 4 or something, which is for those who don't know, here in the UK, Channel 4 is one of the channels that has adverts. Like every 20 minutes is it in a movie kind of thing. So so yeah, I found it. I think I just got distracted by adverts and that, and it was a very slow-paced movie as far as I remember. And I think the adverts kind of added on top of it. I really don't. I think I was with friends at the time as well, so I was probably just completely distracted. I want to give it a chance. I'd love to pick it up on DVD cheap or something, but
Isn't that the one about the porn industry?
yeah, it's got Mark Wahlberg in it, isn't it, I think.
And Heather Graham, if I'm correct.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've never seen it, but my cousin bought a shirt of it, an orange shirt of it at Comic Con.
Oh yeah.
Well, I don't know. As films you want to see, there's films you just can't really be bothered.
I think that's the thing. Sometimes, like, movies get bigged up to you, and then you watch them, and I've had that a lot. Like, with a lot of the movies I've recently been reviewing, it's, you get them bigged up to you, and then you finally sit down to watch them, and you're like, actually, I don't think it's... Or there's ones that you get told are really crap, and then you watch them, and you're like, actually, I really like this, so...
Well, I watched a film today called City Under Siege.
Yeah.
This film.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
And
because you've been watching a lot of those movies lately, haven't you?
And it bored me. I turned it off halfway through.
Oh, really?
It was awful.
Wow, that takes a lot to piss you off enough to turn it off.
It does. I was watching it. I was like, oh. Basically what happens in it is he's a failed clown. He's he's got mental health issues. So he's like, you know.
All right, yeah.
And basically goes around and he ends up in a romance with Shuquay. And she's this hot reporter who's getting fired because apparently she's too old looking. Even though she's like 30 odd in this movie, I think. She might be 40, who knows, because Asians look, younger.
Yeah, they look a lot younger than,
because you wouldn't think he was 49, would you, that guy in the middle?
No way.
You know what I mean? And basically, he gets pulled down to this dungeon with these guys, and this mist happens, and they start turning into demons and stuff. And I was just like, I've never been one for demons and stuff.
No, yeah, I know, yeah.
I don't mind it in like Marvel films or superhero movies because you're expecting those kind of films.
Yeah. Was there nothing that kind of led you to believe that this would be some kind of supernatural kind of movie?
No. City Under Siege, I thought it was some sort of terrorist movie.
It just sounds like something Yukasa kind of, yeah.
But no, I never ended up finishing it. There's a bit with 30 minutes left where the guy turns into a complete demon.
Really? Jeez.
And I'm sitting there and I'm...
Sorry. No, it was completely separate from what you're talking about. Sorry, it just made me think of something I just recently saw.
Oh, what's that?
The Dead Rising movie trailer starring Chris out of the New Dallas series.
No,
I've
seen it.
Guy's name.
Have
you seen it? Yeah, they're releasing the Blu-ray in the UK and the special delivery.
It's got my YouTube and my thing on it. It's got my YouTube and my screen name on it.
Really?
Yeah, I would show it, but it's got my address on it.
Yeah.
That's so weird.
That's kind of funny. As long as it's not you've been served by a celestial word.
I've been served by We'll Go USA.
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of what you were saying. I've seen the trailer for that.
Yeah. I can't remember what the subtitle is for it, but it's just, it came up on my, because on my Facebook I've got it listed that it's one of the games I've played. It automatically makes you like the Dead Rising page. So every now and I could dislike it, but it's nice sometimes to see updates from it, to see what's going on. And it just came up on my feed that the Blu-ray is being released in the UK this week or something.
Yeah.
And I knew about the movie, but I hadn't seen the trailer on it. And I watched it, and it was so stupid. I was just like, it looks like another sci-fi kind of Sharknado kind of zombie movie, you know?
I thought it looked more like Dead Island game movie.
Yeah, it did. I like the way make lots and lots of weapons. I felt like that was the only tie they were trying to make to the movie, to the series, except for the Psycho. There was a Psycho in the middle of the trailer.
I saw the trailer for it like a year ago.
Yeah.
Because it was released over on, like something, like Hulu. It was like a Hulu original thing. I can't remember. I think it was Crackle. I think it was a Crackle original.
Mm.
And I was like, you know what, I wouldn't mind watching this. And then I watched the trailer, I was like, I'll watch it at some point. And I saw Blu-ray would be coming out soon. So I thought I'll wait for the Blu-ray where it's cheap.
Yeah. Because they've just got this guy that's sat in the newsroom in the trailer that looks a bit like Frank West, but not quite Frank West. It's just like, is he supposed to be him or not? But it just looks so tacky. I was just like, I was kind of hyped. I was like, please, after Resident Evil went completely downhill, I was like, please say that something like Dead Rising, you need that wisecracking kind of cheap tackiness anyway. But from the trailer, it didn't advertise it to me very well. I was just like, okay, it's another
The Dead Rising game needs to be like The Evil Dead.
Yeah,
it needs to have like a Bruce Campbell figure, but in a completely different sense.
Yeah, or even that kind of, Dawn of the Dead, kind of serious, but at the same time tongue-in-cheek. I mean, Dead Rising was based on, the George A. Romero movies, so I guess it needs that kind of tongue-in-cheek...
especially the first one.
Yeah, exactly. So it just didn't look like it had, like you say, I think it needs that Bruce Campbell style... Oh, I finally got round to watching that Evil Dead trailer, because I know we got asked about it a couple of weeks ago, didn't we? After Comic-Con.
What do you think of it?
I'm intrigued enough to want to watch it. It looks like, I think it's stupid. It's essentially Bruce Campbell being Bruce Campbell, as usual. And I love the fact that they've essentially called it, much like Army of Darkness was Bruce Campbell versus the Army of Darkness. They've essentially gone for Ash versus the Evil Dead, haven't they? And it's just like, oh my god, really? Just couldn't they not think of something else? But I'm intrigued enough to watch it. Bruce Campbell's one of those actors that you get used to watch him being himself, but every now and then he actually tries. Like Burn Notice and stuff like that. You see him do some stuff where, even the episode of The X-Files he did was a bit silly, but at the same time it looked like he was actually trying to be somebody else other than himself.
I like Bruce Campbell.
Yeah, exactly, I do.
I like him, I'm just not a big fan of the Evil Dead movies.
No, I know you don't, yeah. I'm intrigued enough to watch it, but at the same time, I don't expect much from it. I think it's going to be one of those things, if I watch it, I'm just going to be like, there'll be mindless shit in it, and I'll just be like, yeah, whatever, just throw shit at the screen. Oh dear. That's ominous. It'd be even better if this is 1 million views for your channel.
Oh! How metal is that? Look. Ooh.
It's an envelope within an envelope within an envelope.
Well, what's going to happen?
There's going to be a special key inside.
Oh, it's a Snow Girl. It's a replacement disc for the one I'm supposed to review. I didn't tell you that I've got an email.
What, from the people that are still waiting for you to review their stuff?
I've got an email saying, we have an edge of reviews. Can you send them to us?
Whoopsie.
The worst part is it isn't like I haven't meant to on purpose. It's just one of those things that I just can't bother to do.
Yeah, exactly. Well, because as well, you've been getting into your martial arts and stuff lately, showing off that aspect of your passion as well. It's just like you've not really bothered with the other.
Well, I'll do the reviews at some point.
It's like we talked about before, though. It's when you're feeling forced and pressured into doing something, you feel more likely to rebel against that kind of.
Exactly. That's what we need. More rebels.
More rebels! I know you're sharing. You've shared this chat with some people on the interweb. So hello to anybody who's new viewing.
Anyone who's watching this who's no, please say hello.
Say hello to Tweedledum and Tweedledee Sable.
That was really good. I like that.
Oh, well, blimey. Hello, James.
Hello, James.
You're early.
Oh, it's good to see you.
It is. Thanks for making it. Feel free to ask some questions.
Yeah, please ask some questions, James. We always like fan interaction.
Because there's been X-Files news this week, hasn't there?
Yeah, it has been.
You called it from the beginning.
I did. I called it. So why don't we let you talk about it?
Well, I knew about it a while ago because Dean Hagland talked about it on the podcast that he does with Phil Lennis over at Chillpack Hollywood Hour. But it's now finally been confirmed that the Lone Gunmen are indeed going to be in the revival of the X-Files next January. So I believe they're going to be in episode 4 with Robbie Amell from The Flash. And I can't remember the woman's name, Laura so-and-so out of 6 Feet Under, who are going to be Agents Miller and Einstein, because, you know, that's not remotely kind of ripping off Mulder and Scully at all.
Those Einstein, you know what I reckon this is, didn't you? I reckon this is in case they end up doing a spin-off and they quit and they end up wanting to carry on the show.
A lot of people have been speculating about this. A lot of people have been worried. I mean, the thing is you've got a male name that's not far from Mulder, and then you've got, you know, Scully, who's the scientist, and you've got an Agent Einstein. A lot of people have immediately been rushing to say, and everybody has been like, they can't do that because at the end of the day, the X-Files is Mulder and Scully. So. But it's going to be interesting to see how they handle the Lone Gunman. I mean, I'm looking forward to Robbie Amell because I enjoy him in The Flash and he's quite yummy, to be honest. But regarding the Lone Gunman, it's going to be interesting because, of course, everybody's like, you know, they died in the series. And, I mean, we've talked about this on this chat before where Dean Hagland, who plays Langley, has always said he doesn't believe they died because of CDC restrictions. You know, they died of a virus in the show. And he has always insisted that they would have been in CDC caskets, and that's not the case in what we see. So he's always stood by the fact that they were actually alive, and they are actually alive in the comic book series, season 10. So it'll be interesting to see how they bring them into the series.
Well, I think what they should have them in like the Hannibal Lecter cell kind of thing.
Yeah.
And then they should have Scully go down there. Right.
Yeah.
They should go like, hello, Scully. Right, and you should have them with
you say that, that's not even remotely far from possible because in the comic book series, they are actually in like this room that's underground, under where their caskets are. They are actually underground, and they like enter through their like the headstones or something. I can't remember what it is, but that's not even remotely the silliest idea.
But that's what they should do because then that would keep up with the whole virus thing. You know.
The problem is they've only got 6 episodes, and if they're only in from episode 4 onwards, I mean, it's going to be difficult to explain, especially to anybody that hasn't watched the series. I mean, I'm going to hate it if they keep doing flashbacks, seriously.
Well, my view is, if you haven't watched the series before and you hear about it now, why not go back and watch it now?
Why watch it? Yeah, why not go watch it?
You know
because we want it on Blu-ray, that's why.
I'm not going to watch the revival. I'm going to get it for you. But I'm not going to be watching it because I need to watch the original series again first in order to understand more. To
be able to understand it, exactly.
You know.
I'm getting annoyed with the whole streaming on Fox, though, because they don't do it as Fox. They don't. Fox now, they don't stream to the UK. I keep getting because I've tried going on there. Because if you go on their official X-Files page, they're like, we're streaming video, full episodes. So I've gone on their site because I was curious about streaming Bob's Burgers because I like Bob's Burgers and it doesn't really get shown here in the UK.
No, it doesn't.
So I went on there to see if I could stream some episodes and it just comes up going, this is not streaming in your country or whatever it
You
is.
need to change your DNS settings so you can watch them.
Yeah.
You need to change your thing to American so you can see it.
Yeah, it's just a load of...
Because that's what people do with their Netflix. You can have an English Netflix account, but you can sign into an American one if you change your DNS settings.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I think I don't know how to change my DNS settings.
I do.
Oh, okay. We won't
do.
advertise that on a live chat.
I shall advertise it now. Everybody commit a heinous crime. What's this? I listened to Phil and Dean's podcast. I am so happy with the Lone Gunman returning. Is there a due date for the episodes to be aired in the UK yet? And what channel?
As far as I know, there are people asking this. As far as I know, there is still no UK release, broadcast date. And still no clue on who's broadcasting it, because Fox in the UK have not made any... because it's funny, because there's been new... I shared this on my Facebook. The new trailers that have been airing during Wayward Pines in America, obviously they've not aired here in the UK. So I don't know if Fox are going to do it in the UK or what.
My view is it'll be in March.
Yeah.
And my view is also that it will be on Sky One.
See, because Sky One aired it originally when it was here in the UK, back when it was first airing. But Sky One actually sold off the rights to show the X-Files years ago after it finished. And then it kind of went into... So I don't know, obviously, because it's new stuff, I don't know if they'll be able to pick it up again. Or, like I say, because at the time we didn't have what became FX and then changed to Fox. We didn't have FX, so I don't know if Fox will air it on their own channel, or if Sky One will win the right, or if they'll even try. They might not try.
The thing is, it all depends, like you just said, about who's got the rights.
Yeah.
Because I always thought Sky One had the rights. Still, I didn't know.
Yeah, they sold them off years ago. Yeah.
But I do think it'll be either late February or early March, but they'll start them. I think really they should do what they're doing with Game of Thrones. They should have them on at the same time.
Yeah, they do it with because Fox aired Walking Dead the day after it airs in America, and I wish they would do it that way here with
The thing is, we've got half a year left before they might announce it.
Yeah, exactly. So,
either way, you'll see them probably the same day anyway.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So fingers crossed. So, but it's just frustrating because it is that kind of thing. It's such an international phenomenon, and with the way the fans are kicking up at the moment about it all, it would be nice if Fox showed some, they're eager to get all the support and that, but they're not showing any support for the fans to give it out, kind of across the world. So, especially with Netflix not even airing it in the UK on their thing.
Oh, you're really bitter about that, aren't you?
I am. I don't care because I got them on DVD, but I want to see them in HD. For goodness sake.
From what I've seen, HD looks beautiful.
I know, exactly. The trailers that they've shown, like the one that they had for the 201 days, that looked amazing.
I'm telling you, if this one comes out on Blu-ray, the rest will.
Yeah.
If it doesn't, then it means it'll never will. And
well, they released. Sorry.
I think it also depends on the figures of the people that watch it.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I think if there's a high demand for it, I reckon there will be a Blu-ray release eventually.
Yeah, but with other series, sometimes it comes down to digital downloads, doesn't it? So
I noticed, I look on, just go off subject quickly for a minute.
Yeah.
I was going on Amazon, I was looking at these DVDs. And I find more and more DVDs are burned to order now.
Yeah.
And I'm like, but that's not a real DVD. That's not a real release. Why am I buying something for nearly double the price, which is burn on demand?
Yeah. Exactly.
And I think that's where we're going. I think slowly but surely everything's going to be burn on demand.
That's what cracked me up when you would get these, like, particularly Disney did them more than anybody else, but was the whole Blu-ray DVD ultraviolet combi packs that you would get. And It was just like, if you buy it on Blu-ray, you'll get a free DVD, and then you'll get the ultraviolet code. And it's just like, I just want a disc. I don't need to pay for three different versions.
Me myself, I'm happy with a Blu-ray DVD combo.
Yeah.
Only because, let's say I'm ill and I'm like my back and I'm in bed, I can watch the DVD on the laptop.
Yeah.
So I don't mind that. Ultraviolet, I used to sell mine. I can't do that now because eBay banned me from doing it. But it's like these people. You get these people on eBay all the time that sell discs. They sell the DVD or they sell the Blu-ray without the case, and you're just like, I'd rather they did DVD Blu-ray combis and did a DVD and a Blu-ray separately and wasted materials.
Yeah.
What's this? They were on Sky One and BBC here. Tash, have you seen the promo trailers? They're on IMDb. Here's the link for you. Even I've seen the promo trailers.
I like the way James thinks so little of me that he thinks I haven't been seeing all the pictures and all the trailers have been coming.
But don't worry, Tash. This is because James don't mind me saying this, has all 3 seasons.
Oh, and the Blu-ray combi pack.
Oh.
No, I've seen, because they've been airing, like I say, it's so funny because Fox announced them before they actually get shown. And they'll be like, airing tonight during Wayward Pines, and then they air like through the third lot of adverts.
You didn't hear me talking about it, did you? I talked about the promos in the actual Geek Week chat.
Oh, really?
I said about Mulder.
Oh, looks haggard, yeah.
It looks haggard.
On my Facebook.
And it goes like this. He goes, "Are you ready, Scully?" And it's about to flash. Right. And I made up this whole thing about her getting off of skin and giving birth to an alien and everything. But
well, it has been said because that clip is from episode 1, and the idea is that they're showing flashbacks, and the idea is that Mulder is in a dark place in the first episode. So before going back to the FBI,
we're gonna see flashbacks. So that cliche.
Yeah, unfortunately, or showing what has happened between like the second movie and the start of this.
I reckon
that's why Gillian's wig apparently is so blonde in the first episode and then gets redder.
Well, I was saying about how haggard she looks. From that plastic surgery she doesn't look like the same person.
Yeah, I don't think she's had surgery, but
oh, she has.
Yeah.
It's on the thing. She's had surgery on her face.
Yeah.
What's this? Donna says, evening, Donna.
Evening, Donna.
Plus, I have season 1 to 8 on VHS still. So you ain't even got season 9 on VHS.
Even I have 9 on VHS.
Look at this, X-Files War.
Look, season 9.
You know what? I had all these VHSs years ago, like 2005 or 6.
Yeah.
I got them all in a store and I owned them. They still actually are at my nan's place.
Yeah.
It's shocking. So, is the new X-Files season going to be called X-Files Revival, or is it going to be called anything else?
As far as I know, it's going to be called Season 10. Which is annoying for the comic book series fans of us. Not that I'm a fan of the series, but... What
was that you showed a minute ago?
The comic book series, X-Files Conspiracy Following the Lone Gunman.
Oh, okay.
It's the hardback version.
Nice. Is it stitched?
Fell off the top, so...
Is it stitched?
I think so. No, actually, I think it's just... I don't know.
Oh dear. I like when I buy things like now. I like them when they're stitched because I worry that they're going to fall out.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, I think that's just glued. So.
That's why I won't buy DC stuff. I won't buy DC graphic novels because they're never stitched.
Yeah.
But I will Marvels because Marvels are stitched. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, really? A Marvel, yeah.
Yeah. That's why I buy that. That's why I always buy Marvel. That's why you'll always see me talking about Marvel more than DC because of that.
Yeah.
But I think the thing is, I don't think anybody could miss those promos, especially if you're a fan, because they're so teasing.
Oh my god, it's so fun. You would not believe there are actually even fan fictions that have cropped up just from those two lines that get spoken in that one the newest trailer.
I told you, the best one is, are you ready, Scully?
I like that idea. Yeah.
And then he flashes, right? And it's
Unfortunately,
alien.
I've not seen that fan fiction yet. You should be on that one straight away.
I'm going to write my own fan fiction, right? Alien jumps out, impregnates Scully. Scully gives birth to multiple aliens, while Skinner has sex with her and gets it bitten off.
There's a picture actually that was recently behind the scenes. Like those kind of. Everybody's been getting these pictures. It's so funny. And there's this picture of, I don't know what it is. They're like black bags or something. And they've got these bits of paper just stuck on them. It looks a bit like Chairgate, actually. And you've got like Mulder, Scully, Skinner, cigarette smoking man. It's just like, oh dear.
An alien.
Yeah, an alien.
And it should have had the Funko Pop alien sitting there.
Yeah.
Well, you know what?
Look at our arcade book this week. Sorry, you said a Funko Pop and just made me think of Arcade Block, sorry.
Oh, you got it?
No, we will be getting it. It ships this week, so...
Oh, it's took forever, isn't it?
Yeah. I hate this when they're released at the end of the month, because you're sat there going, la 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 la.
Well, what annoyed me was here when I got mine. You got yours long before I got mine. I'm only across the border. But, yeah, I mean, I think it's going to be an interesting 6 episodes. I'm not going to watch them because I'll watch the series first again. Yeah. And I think that's a great idea that people are doing that because I think that's how you should, get excited for it.
Yeah, exactly. It has been an interesting ride, being a part of the fandom and seeing new fans come in, and especially during this whole global rewatch. Like I say, I stand by the fact that some of the tweets that pop up for the different episodes when they're like, Baby Files, this is what we used to watch, how we used to watch movies, like on VHSs and stuff like that. It's like explaining the old 90s technology to the Baby Files.
It's so weird when I think about how I used to watch stuff like that on VHS.
Yeah.
So weird because you didn't have a next button, you had to fast forward to watch it.
Or even just like looking at the phones, the big blocks and stuff like that, or with the aerials.
It's just so weird because it's amazing because you watch a lot of Exiles and it feels like yesterday.
Yeah, and you see how far we've come technologically.
Yeah, and you look at how computers were and you look about our phones were, like you said, you look at all the things around, you're like, wow, it's so dated, so much changes without us realising.
Yeah. Exactly. It's like, well, even to say 90s doesn't seem that long ago. And then when you think, oh, we're almost at, 2020 kind of thing, it's like, oh, yeah. Okay.
2020. It's mental.
It's insane.
Making me feel like an old man.
You're old, I'm old. Donna's even older. Not your Donna, I meant my Donna. I didn't mean your Donna. Actually, Donna's only a couple of years older than me, so sure.
You had to put that one in there, didn't you, in case you got in trouble?
Yeah, I'm going to get so much trouble. Yeah.
No, go on.
No, I was going to say about, because you haven't put the video footage up of us playing.
No, because I was waiting to see what you wanted to do. Because we were talking about putting those
together. Yeah. I need to get mine onto the computer. So.
And because I hadn't talked to you really since then, and I thought it'd be a bit difficult talking about over the the text.
Yeah.
We can talk about it after the chat if you want.
Yeah. I was trying to find a segue. It's okay. Onto the subject.
Okay. You were trying to find a segue onto the Grand Theft Auto chat. In case nobody realises, this whole chat is going to be about Grand Theft Auto tonight.
Actually, no. Let's start with Dying Light. The bullshit that is Dying Light.
Okay, Dying Light. Dying Light, in my view, I will say this before we get started. Dying Light is one of those games which is like a big, massive taste. You get somewhere, you're like, I finally finished the game, and then you find you haven't completed the game. And then you end up going further along to more crap, and then you think, oh, I've completed the game. No, I've not completed the game. I've still got to go after it. Oh, I've killed the guy. The guy's dead. Yes, I've completed. No, you've not completed the game. Continue on your mission. Terrible. I mean, I like the game because it's fun if you're playing it together.
Yeah.
But it's one of those games where it's a lot like Dead Island, the fact that you'll get bored because you're repeating the same old thing over and over again. The only thing that saves it is the better quality graphics.
You know what though? Something that I was thinking about this earlier actually, because I completely agree. It's the kind of thing that if you're killing time, it's fun to just go out and beat the shit out of stuff together and that, you know. And we had so much fun, like just running all over the place and that. But you know what? Something that bugged me is the fact that actually, unlike Dead Island actually changed location. When you went to the island and the prison, you were actually somewhere completely different.
Yeah, but so does this.
But when we went to Old Town, I didn't feel like we were really anywhere different besides something that looked like it was made in Prince of Persia. It was just a different town. I didn't feel like we were anywhere completely different.
We were.
So that was just something that bugged me.
The Old Town reminded me of the town in Dead Island once you leave the area, which the first area in Dead Island looked exactly like Dying Light. If you look at the first two areas, they look almost identical, especially when you start driving around certain areas. Well, you don't drive in Dying Light, but you get what I mean.
No, yeah, that's another thing. You don't drive in Dying Light. It's just like, I know that's because you're focused on going across the roofs and stuff, but that was something I did miss, was the ease of getting some places with the car.
Why don't we talk about who's the king of parkour and who isn't?
Okay, look, this isn't fair, because we talked about this last week, is the fact that I can't always see where I'm supposed to jump to.
It's excuses. It's excuses.
Yes, but who's going to keep saving your ass and beating the shit out of things?
It's me saving you, isn't it? Seriously, the parkour in the game is crazy because you're running across, and I normally make it, except for sometimes I miss. And if you don't know the layout very well, because I'm very good at remembering layouts and of areas.
Yeah.
It can be so annoying because you'll jump and you'll miss because you go, oh shit, it was over there, not there. You know?
Yeah, because certain ledges look like you're able to grab them, and then you jump at them and you just fall, and it's like, oh, I couldn't grab that, you know, kind of thing. Or my worst one last week, you know, the one that really got me down, we talked about it last week, was that bloody pipe system where I would keep jumping for the pipe and it just wouldn't bloody grab it. I get so fed up of you always getting somewhere and then they're going, do you want to fast travel? I'm just like, I will get through this. Especially the one bit we just did last week where I was going along a pipe and I had to get down to this other pipe and I looked down at it and for no reason whatsoever my character decided to push away from the wall and fall backwards down like 30 feet. I was just like, what?
Oh, what? Do you remember that bit? Where where the green things are that spit at you? Yeah. I was climbing across and you were down below fighting them.
Yeah.
Right? You then got up and one spit and you fell down. Right? Yeah. And by the time you got back up, I was all the way out the door and down the corridor.
Yeah.
And thinking, it's ridiculous how that happens because I think it works for you at times, but not.
Yeah.
I think the game's very...
it's very finicky.
Yeah, I hate when you get bloody crammed in with zombies as well.
But Malcolm's very good at the parkour, but I'm very good at beating the shit out of stuff. I tend to win on the kill the most zombies ones. So. Yeah,
only because I let her.
Except for when he's got the AK-47 and he just guns them all down.
Yeah, exactly. Then I've got like 15, you've got like 24 or something.
So we went through all this. Malcolm was lagging behind. I don't know what he was doing. I went to the check the waypoint, got there, got to this door. all of a sudden comes up with a message. This is the game finale. It is a single player mission. La, 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 la. Do you wish to continue? I was like, what? So not only do you have something telling you that you're essentially at the final mission of the game, but after playing the whole game together, we were not allowed to complete it in multiplayer. We had to play it I haven't played it yet.
No, you
I've just not been in the mood, to be honest.
To be honest with you, I think it's a real piss take, because I mean, if you started from mission 1 and you've gone all the way to the end, you should be able to do it together. But I think it's just, there must be some sort of thing that just stops it. Like, there must be a reason.
There must be some quick time it's probably going to be a quick time event or something. But that's stupid, because for the rest of it, we've essentially been imaginary. My character has essentially been an imaginary character. We had this with the Ada story on Resident Evil 6.
Yeah.
But it is essentially that, is that the second player is an imaginary character that is only there to... So all I can assume is that they don't want you helping each other out in it, that it's a tough boss battle or something.
Before we go over to this bit again, but that's what I bring up for daughter, because you're all on there.
Yeah.
In the scenes, you're all on there.
Yeah. You are actually a part of the whole thing, yeah.
Well, the problem with Dying Light for me is the game is very lackluster. And they're bringing out a Dead Island 2, which looks beautiful, but it looks like it's going to be exactly the same thing.
Yeah.
Will I get it? Yeah, of course I will. I'll probably get it if it's got the co-op on it, because it's another co-op game for you and me to play. You know. Would I pay full price for it? No, of course not, because it's not worth it.
No,
unless I read a review that goes, it's the most incredible game ever. You can dance, you can sing, and you can go play karaoke. Why did I just spit out my mouth?
Ew.
Sorry about that, everybody. I just let it spit go.
Welcome to May to December, Spitathon.
Spitting on the viewers. But it's one of those games where I think people who have played it will understand how frustrating it is. It's one of those games that once you complete it completely, you'd never go back to it.
Yeah, no, exactly.
At the minute we're doing the side missions.
Yeah,
right?
we're trying to get that, yeah.
And hopefully, because there was a lot of glitches when it first came out, hopefully those side missions have been fixed now so that we can play through them and get the trophies. If we play through them and we don't get the trophies,
I know. I don't like some of those trophies though. Like capture 5 bolters, kill this many by kicking them on the spikes. Kill 20 by electrocuting them or whatever. It's just like, oh, for goodness sake.
Set a zombie on fire, then kick it on the spikes.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the barbecue one. Or was it kill this many in the light traps? It's like the light traps don't do sod all to them.
There's one called Save 15 Pilgrim Rice's Men, and I've only ever seen 3 for a whole playthrough of near Rice's Men.
I know, exactly. And we have had no luck with getting survivors, have we? I mean, every time we get to them, it turns out to be one of those... Because we have had no luck killing a goon. We tried. My God, did we stick at that? Did we go through so many weapons? We were trying to liberate a safe spot, and there's these things called goons that go around with this bit of rebar and concrete on the end, and they swing it round at you, and you try and kill them. And the idea is you hit them once and then back up before they hit you with their bit of rebar. And we kept going. We used all our weapons that were working. Yeah. We tried at this for 2 hours. We went through about 2 day cycles or something, because it was much easier at night. Because once the day comes, all the zombies come chasing you into that area. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, even though it's sealed off.
Yeah, exactly. So we kept going through weapons, and I mean, we've discussed before. You only get a percentage of use out of each weapon before it stops being viable to use. Yeah. And we wasted so much money that in-game money that we didn't have on fixing and weapons and stuff, to the point that we could not buy any more.
Well,
and yet this guy still didn't go down.
It doesn't help, but there's a trade guide right where you start, but he doesn't have anything to fix your weapons.
I know, exactly. It's like, wow, you're completely pointless.
Ridiculous, you know. I mean, the whole game isn't very well thought out. I mean, the updates where they do the parkour challenges. Now, as much as I enjoy the parkour, I wouldn't want to do it as a challenge.
No, I wouldn't want to try and beat other people at it. I'd just be like, yeah, no, I
You
can't
know,
even beat Malcolm at it, let
yeah,
alone
I mean,
String.
exactly. You know, I mean, it's fun, but it's not fun. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, all those years of jumping in Assassin's Creed worked out for me.
I know. That's the funniest thing. You would think that my previous jumping parkour skills would help me out. You know, even Assassin's Creed and Mirror's Edge. But it's not that. It's just it's not even the jumping. I can do that. It's just I don't always see where I need to jump to, and that's what frustrates me. Especially when you end up in those dark areas and your torch goes off, and it's just like.
Oh, that's what we've got to talk about. When you die, before you die, the guy very kindly, to save you battery, turns the light off as he dies.
It's the fact you actually hear it click off. It's the best bit. It's just like.
It clicks off and then you go.
I just love, you know, like not your last word or anything like that. Just like click.
We've got a comment from Little John.
Hello, Little John.
Afternoon, guys. Only have a quick minute. I hope you guys are well. Your video from Comic-Con was really cool, Tash.
Thanks, John. I'm sorry there really wasn't much to it, but it was a crazy time and just impossible to film. So.
Well, what was up with Jane doing the exterminate when Donna knocked on the door? I was like, what the hell?
Because she had that stupid Dalek hat on.
It was like, open the door, hi, exterminate. Then it was like stealing Donna's pie. I was like,
I know. Poor Donna was trying to hide to the camera and that, and to us, you know, that's, you know, just like, no, I'm gonna stay, you know, like so.
And I'm doing really good, thanks, John. I hope you're having a good day at work.
But yeah, I mean, you saw how crazy how packed the hall was at the end of the video. It was just, and
it didn't look that packed at all to me.
That was on the Sunday.
It looked actually quite empty.
Actually, the middle aisle looked absolutely dead, but you can see all around the edges was where people were trying to move.
I think the problem is all the busy parts are the parts you'd want to be in.
Yeah.
When it comes to like the selling bits, people want to see them, but they're not as important as queuing up to the guests. Like,
well, yeah, all the photo booths, photo shoot sections, and that, you know.
I mean, what's this? I promised to watch the entire chat this week. Have a fantastic day, both of you, John.
Have a good week, John. Hope the job's going well.
Have a good day at work, John. And take care, little John.
We miss you.
Yes, we do. And I'm not Fire Tuck anymore.
No, yeah.
Instead, now I'm a Conehead.
He's Tweedledum with Tweedledee Sable.
I like that.
I'm with that, you know.
Yeah, I think you should, because that's pretty good. But yeah, you know.
Sorry, I don't mean, you know, I'm just messing. It's just funny.
You know, I say funny things all the time, don't I? So
yeah, exactly.
Now let's talk about what was requested, and that is Grand Theft Auto.
Run away, Donna.
Thank you for suggesting this. Now, we probably won't talk about this if we didn't have such an epic time.
You know what? This is the thing. If we had just been messing around as usual, we wouldn't have anything to talk about because we've pretty much covered all the messing around aspects of GTA. And I mean, a lot of that stuff will turn up in videos anyway. But yes, we had a big day on Friday.
It was incredible. We finally got to do a whole heist section.
And we had somebody who actually would pick us up in their car and that, and wouldn't like drive off or kill us after the heist, and actually not only added us to their friends list, but actually kept inviting us back for the rest of the heist, for each next section of the heist. What
we need to remember is at the first, it was in the first heist with us.
What was that stupid?
Oh, Banasek.
Benny Benassi. Benny Benassi.
There was this guy in there with the screen name Benny Benassi. If you ever see him online, you get a chance. Right? Because he kept pissing me off so much. So when we finished the actual mission,
Oh my God.
I was having a smoke with him. Well, in the game, that's how it does it when you get back.
Yeah.
And I thought, screw it. I just shot him in the head and killed him. And took his money.
He was awful at driving. Oh my God. Just because he would keep running for that frigging truck. And I'd be like, not the truck, the shooting vehicle. And I would try to drive. And he got in the driver's seat. And I said, didn't I? I said to you, I said, I can't do the shooting on the back of the vehicle. And he crashed and then blew up the whole frigging vehicle and killed the whole mission.
That guy was going mental as well because he was driving all over the place, crashing into the other people that were doing the mission and everything.
Yeah. Was he the one in the truck, in the rubbish truck one, or was that Huffy?
That was Benassi.
That was Benassi.
Yeah.
Because the best bit about that, because we were playing against this guy, we probably shouldn't use actual, but his username started with Ferry, basically. So we'll just refer to him as Ferry. But Ferry was the one that was inviting us to each of the missions.
What you need to remember,
driving this...
Can I just cut in a minute? What you remember is that was his code name because he was actually called Joker.
Yeah. Oh, he was dressed up as Joker. That was hilarious.
And he had a Joker car and everything.
Yeah. It was even to the point, I mean, he even waited to pick us up at one point, didn't he? Because he was like sat outside the building. We got in and he had his wheels turning and had all this smoke coming out of it while he was waiting for us to get in the car. It was hilarious.
And him and Tash had this little romance going on.
No, because I got in his car instead of you. I can't see the blue name, so I just got in the car with whoever was the nearest.
Yeah, you saw the colour of the car. My colour's red, his was purple, and you chose. I'll never forget that now.
But yeah, that was so funny when, because we had to pick up this dump truck, didn't we?
Yeah.
And I drove it, because Malcolm's good at the shooting bit, so I was like, well, because our two characters, the idea was they went on the back, and we did the protecting them, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And apparently this Benny Benassi was really pissing off Ferry because it was so funny because Ferry just randomly started Benny Benassi started randomly shooting at Ferry, so Ferry went chasing after him, and something really, because then he just left, didn't he? At the end, we were like, he's getting bored and stuff, but then somebody else joined, and he was a bit of a twat as well, that Huffy, weren't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the thing that annoyed me was if we talk about the missions and in a little bit of detail, the heist. Yeah. So basically, the first one, one of them anyway. I can't remember them in order.
I think the dump truck one, was the first one. I can't remember.
I think it was the second one. I can't remember. Anyway, the dump truck. So basically, we had to go drive to this dump truck place. Someone had to be a driver, which was Tash. I was basically the person who sat in the passenger seat getting ready to protect, and the two guys jumped on the back. Right. Yeah. What am I going to talk about?
I think I know about the minigun, or not.
And so we're driving around, and they're shooting everything, which is ridiculous. And I'm getting a bit impatient, and Tash is getting a bit impatient. Like, we just want to get on with the mission, guys. The guy tries to talk to us the whole time, and we're like, fuck off. Right, we'll do it our way, right? So he's driving, Tash is driving and stopping at each part, and guys are turning up, we're shooting them, and Benny Benassi keeps dying, right? So we have to keep restarting.
Yeah.
Right. His whole name isn't Benny Benassi because he had some numbers on the end.
No, he had some numbers. Yeah.
So basically, we're driving again and again and again and again. I decide I've got serious diarrhea, so I've got to run upstairs.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Tash says, don't worry, I'll protect you, and when I come back, I'm still alive. I was like, wow, amazing. We get to the end.
But can I quickly interject, sorry, because the problem is because I was driving, so it was fine. But then we got one of the stops. You definitely have to be there to help protect the other two guys that are picking up the rubbish. So I got out of the vehicle and I went to go help protect these guys. I got back to the vehicle, except it automatically moves the passenger in the vehicle over to the driver's seat. So I'm trying to pull him out of the driver's side, and that would not do that. So I'm like, and I can hear movement, and they're getting pissy at the back. They're shooting towards us and that, and I'm like, I'm trying to get him out and stuff. I hear movement on Malcolm's end of the microphone. I'm like, drive! Shouting down the microphone. And he eventually gets back, and I'm just like, will you drive, please?
I get back to being shot by Manasseh, don't I? He's shooting me.
Yeah.
So we move. So I get out. Tash gets back in. We're driving along. We're getting right near the end. We're like, yes. Some cars come up. Ferry decides to get out the bloody truck, and he decides to use his bloody minigun for the 50th time, and then I get shot dead in the passenger seat.
It was one of those points after the final pickup. The idea is you were supposed to just head towards your checkpoint because you will get loads and loads of cars respawning. It doesn't matter how much you shoot it. Ferry didn't seem to get that. He kept using his minigun, which meant more and more people kept spawning. Malcolm got out of the vehicle and just got absolutely obliterated, didn't you?
I got obliterated in the actual truck and fell out.
I
got shot and I fell out.
Yeah.
So I got really, really angry with that because I was like, come on.
We had to redo the whole bloody thing again, didn't we?
What was the next one?
Oh, what was the next one? We had to pick up those trucks, didn't we?
Oh, yeah, we had to pick up those trucks from that sawmill place.
Yeah.
And basically what you had to do is you had to drive there, which was like 5 miles away, which felt like forever.
Oh, that was well forever.
And then, we also had to get the old tank, which we'll talk about after. So we get there, and Tash and the other guy are supposed to be watchers to watch out for us, and then get in the what was that one called? The technical.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, we were supposed to be lookouts while you two went down, except the other guy didn't operate as a lookout. He just went straight down, and I'm like up on the hill with my sniper rifle, taking people out really tactically and that without letting them know. And he just ran straight in, and of course they were all alerted straight away.
So we went down there. I got in a truck. The other guy got in a truck. Then you and the other guy were basically fighting because of the thing.
I went to drive, and I did drive the first time, except then you blew up. You fell down in the ravine, didn't you?
Yeah, because Ferry knocked me over, because the roads are so tight in that position.
Yeah, when you're driving these big 18-wheelers.
And I'm like, come on. I'm like, bloody hell. I'm like, have some consistency and organisation.
Yeah.
So you and Benassi,
Huffy or Benassi, whichever one.
Whatever one it was. They were they're basically the same. They're both shit.
I think it was Benassi, yeah.
Let's just push. If Benassi or Huffy, if you're watching this, you're both shit. And there you go. But there you go. No more. When we play one was, and they come in.
That would be brilliant, yeah.
Anyway, so I'm sitting there, and I'm like, come on, because I'm getting really pissed off, because I have to keep reversing, because I'm crashing over, because I'm being hit.
Yeah.
And if anybody knows, if you get hit in a game, it's not good, because people hit you where you work with, you're going to fly.
Yeah.
It's not bad, but it's bad if you're like in a tight road.
Yeah.
So we finally get moving, and we get to where we're going, and we thingy. But what happens? The guy knocks me, so I'm flat on my side.
Yeah.
Luckily, there is a hack to the game where if you turn the thing enough, it will flip back over, thank God.
Yes, yeah, there is that thing.
Because in the old games, you couldn't.
No, yeah, that would have been it. It would have just blown up.
Yeah, unless you could drive, like, on the wheels to turn up a hill or something. It wouldn't happen. So we get there because we have to deal with Ron, don't we?
Yeah.
Which is one of the funniest bits, because the good thing about these missions was they were to do with Trevor.
Yeah.
So would you like,
Trevor who does soddle.
Would you like to say anything about that mission we did?
The annoying thing, because us with the gun vehicle, we were supposed to go ahead of the trucks because there are people on the road that you're supposed to get rid of. And it was that kind of thing where I ended up like, you know, knowing that the other guy can't hear me, I'm like shouting at the screen going, "Why you bloody shoot them?" And he would not shoot ahead or behind. He wasn't. I was constantly paying attention to the radar to see where the red dots were, whether they were behind or in front of us. And he clearly wasn't, because there would be people either behind or in front of us, and he wasn't paying attention. And then we'd get blown up, and it was frustrating. Like I say, when he then took the wheel, he was so bad at driving, it was ridiculous. And I can't shoot with the back gun anyway. But it was difficult, because it did become this thing of everybody trying to drive as quickly as possible, and we would be behind the big trucks, which was not a good place for us to be, to shoot out. I mean,
there was
people.
one part where I drove straight by you, weren't there? Because we were out in safety, and I was just driving by because I was like, come on, there's no protection going on here.
No, exactly.
You know? Then
but the best bit about that mission was just driving into people on bikes, because that's how you attack people on motorbikes. You just drive into the front of a truck.
Well, then we had to go, didn't we? We had to then go and get the oil tanker.
Yeah.
Right? And that was one of the worst parts of the game for me. So we drive there and we go to a hillbilly farm, the one that's actually in the game.
Yeah.
And we're trying to get in and kill everybody. And what happens? I keep dying. I keep getting killed. He did. And I keep getting killed. So what happens? Ferry sends me a message. Stay back. Leave it to us. You suck, basically.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh, charming. Okay. All right. So what do I do? I'm running.
Yeah.
I get to the house bit and I'm shooting people in the house and then I die again. He sends me another message. Please stay out of the way. Leave it to the professionals. Straight after that message, he dies.
Yeah, I know.
So I send him a message back going, ha 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 ha. Well, you know. But then when we respawn, right, everybody's gone.
It was past that point. It was amazing, because we went from because we were doing quite well, but like you say, it was insane. There was like a good 30 people to kill or something. But yeah, then when the mission started, like checkpointed, it took us back, and there was nobody there. We were like, okay. And then there was those bloody helicopters above the truck and everything, and
so that was kind of annoying, because it was like we didn't really finish the mission point, but at the same time it was good because we wouldn't have been able to, probably, because it was so hard at that point with the people we were with. So you're driving, didn't you? You're driving the tanker.
Well, I did. I wanted to drive it, but at one point, Ferry got in there. He pushed me out of the way and got in, and then he couldn't even back it up onto the sodding tanker. Oh my God! It was so funny to watch.
There's a bit hopefully in the video where I drive right between the tanker and the.
You got crashed, yeah, because we ended up in that little buggy, didn't we?
Yeah, because I drive straight in the middle, because I thought if he couldn't drive it back, he'd get out.
Yeah.
So I drove straight in between them, and for a while he's dragging me along as he's driving the tanker.
Yeah, you were underneath it,
which was pretty cool. And then you're being chased. Well, we're being chased. Well, technically the tanker's being chased by all these people, and almost blows up once. Then the second time we get away with it. Yeah. But I liked having that little buggy. That was pretty cool, because it was like
that little buggy. It was a bit difficult to control though, but yeah.
It was, because I tried reversing and shooting, and it wouldn't have it.
Yeah.
You know, and then we got the final mission where you had to be awkward, didn't you? You had to be really, really awkward. Everybody was wearing a hazmat suit, but not you. Well, everybody had a different coloured one. I had a white one. One guy had a black one.
Oh, come on. I had my nice, sexy camouflage boob tube and jacket. I thought I looked pretty hot in that outfit.
Just let me get this straight for everybody, right? So Tash finally changed her clothes to proper clothes, so we actually get to see Tash and me in different outfits, right?
Yeah.
But one guy had a yellow hazmat suit on, one had a blue, and one had a
blue one. Yeah.
One had a blue, one had a black, and I had the white one on, right?
No, one had the yellow one. I could have had the black one, but I didn't.
Whatever one it was.
But I wanted the yellow one, and
so
he had it.
So everybody was dressed out in a different kind of hazmat suit, except for Tash was in the camouflage, right? And we decided we're going to drive. So after killing some hillbillies in the game, as they're called in the game anyway, you know.
Bloody rednecks. Yeah.
Well, so we start driving. I start first by driving with Trevor, right? Yeah. I then get killed. We have to start again. right? Because he doesn't do anything. And he's supposed to blow up the copters if he don't do anything. Then we find out that's what the technical's for, and and I start shooting them at the sky out of the truck. As well as technical doing it. We finally get to the place, and you get this big, massive, long cutscene.
Yes.
And you find that
my PlayStation frigging broke down and froze.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, yours froze right at the bit where it showed Trevor talking, didn't it?
No, it was the end bit where after he got did he kill Ron? I can't remember, or whatever it was. When he jumped off into the water, and then you see him afterwards get out. That was when mine froze, and I was so gutted because I don't know if I got that whole heist saved, video-wise.
Oh yeah, it was when the police were there.
Yeah, the DEA agents. Yeah.
It was, that heist section was really, really good. I really liked the whole heist overall. But I felt like. I've always felt like with that game, if you've got a good team, that's when you can do it better. And I felt like
the guy very nicely split the money between us all. So
yeah, we all got like 200 odd grand each.
Yeah.
Which was really nice because considering I bought like 1 million and can't bloody get it.
Yeah, I know. We're still trying to get that.
I'm still trying to get that mil, and I just can't get it. And it wasn't even in the game.
No.
I paid $20 for thin air.
I know, that's the annoying thing. And you even tried getting it on your other account, and that's the annoying thing about it. I still can't believe that. But I think the real reason we need to get across to people, from our whole experience, is how, like you say, about the fact that we had somebody who kept inviting us back, that it wasn't like, like that prison one where we tried to keep going back, and then the guy stopped doing it, didn't he? He stopped doing that heist. At least we had somebody who wanted to see the whole heist through with us, kind of thing. So that was nice. And he didn't just kill us the second we got out of the mission.
Even if he was 14 years old, we now look up to that boy, and we now think he's the most awesome person in the whole world.
I know, just because he was somebody in GTA that actually accepted us. No, but I sent him a message afterwards, and I was just like, "Thanks for a fun heist," because it was finally nice to actually play a whole heist with somebody, that was with us, and so he didn't just kill us the second we got out of the. Even when we weren't in the mission, the fact that he picked us up in his car and drove off with us, kind of thing, that was pretty cool. He just replied and was like, "That's all right, mate," and I thought that was really nice. It's different to go play with teenagers and them not be douchebags.
Stop changing things. He said to you. You said to him, "Thanks for the ride," and he went, "Anytime, love." He said, "Anytime, love."
Me going around in an outfit that had my boobs there.
But you know what? The good thing about him not hearing you is they probably think you're a bloke anyway.
Yeah, exactly. That's the best bit. They probably think I'm a guy.
But it was nice to have somebody like that. That's why I keep saying I want to get one of those big, massive apartment things.
Yeah, so we can start the heists.
Yeah, because when you're the host of it, it's not so bad as when you're not.
Yeah.
But it was nice to
start up a crew. Yeah, is that when you can start up a crew? How do you start up a crew in that? Or
you can start up a crew any time, I think. But would you really want to have a crew?
No, but it would be nice to have somebody that we can do heists with.
But in the whole game that we've seen, I've never seen two crew members do a heist with us at all.
No, exactly.
Never been the same.
No, never been the same. Yeah.
There was one called Bongo crew.
Yeah.
There was one called
there was the Weed crew.
There's the IGN crew.
Yes.
I have no idea where the IGN crew come from, obviously,
Yeah.
But
I like the weed one. That was my favourite word.
Yeah, with the puff.
That's the thing about it being 4 letters, is the amazing variations of names you can
mine
get,
mine would be, I think mine would be called Pood.
People will think we were PewDiePie though, that's the thing.
PewDiePie. Actually, that'd be quite good, actually. Pewd, and then you get all these people and you can have them all in the videos, then going, ah.
Yeah, they all think that that we're him, kind of thing. Yeah.
Oh, I like these people. Talk about PewDiePie. I like these people. I've noticed these people that always say they're PewDiePie in these videos.
Oh yeah.
This one guy went, "Oh, you're that big YouTuber, aren't you?" And the bloke went, "Yeah." And he went, "Do the famous thing." And he went, "What famous thing?" The guy went, "The PewDiePie." And the bloke went, "PewDiePie." And he went, "That's not it. Can you do it again?" And the bloke was doing it over and over again. Exactly, right?
Yeah.
But it's so funny how people will take credit for being these things.
Oh yeah.
You know?
It's funny now because if you say you're a YouTuber, people don't take you seriously. They're just like, yeah, whatever. Because I think so many people are YouTubers now. It's difficult, isn't it?
Well, the more YouTubers there is, the more it stops other people being able to do stuff.
Yeah. Well, as you've
Like,
discovered recently,
I
this
saw one.
weekend.
I saw one guy. I saw one guy did a video of him jumping off a London Bridge.
Oh really?
Right? Yeah. And it went wrong, and he almost died. And it was on tape. Why he got over 8 million views in the first day.
You know, the annoying thing is that the ones where something bad happens to the person is more likely to go viral than if he'd been successful.
Mm. Well, it made me think about jumping in the off the San Francisco Bridge.
Just go, "Hi, John."
Go like this. Get somebody to be on a helicopter because I can afford that, you know. Like, and go, "I'm gonna jump," and have it in slow motion and me twirling in the air and then dying almost in the water, and then I'll make my money and I'll be all right. It was only
then you'll finally get your viewers you deserve.
There was one guy. He had a 57-second video, right?
Yeah.
And he had like this film, like, you know, this surveillance thing in his kitchen.
Yeah.
It was insane. He had his chicken on the counter, like his island counter, and his cat was on the thing. The cat jumped off and landed right in there, walked off. He went, "Oh no!" And he looked at the food like this. That made 4 million views.
Jeez.
57 seconds of that.
Okay, seriously, who are the 3 people that dislike this video? If you're watching, why? Explain. Sorry.
Yeah, explain it. Explain it, Donna.
Explain yourself.
Explain it, Donna. Why have you given us negative? Is it because of the Grand Theft Auto?
Yeah.
No, I might messing around.
Sorry. I wish people would say though, because we get consistently 3 dislikes, and it's like, who would have said?
I have to be honest. I get annoyed with YouTube because I would like a give reasons, even if it was because that guy's got a dickhead. At least it would be a reason.
Yeah, exactly.
You know.
Yeah.
That guy, you know, that guy looks like a Conehead from, you know, the Dan Aykroyd movie.
Yeah.
So be it. I put that down below. If you've got problems, even if you want to make shit up, at least we'll know.
If you don't like the fact we're British, then just say.
Yeah, whatever. If it's because I'm wearing blue and not pink,
yeah, exactly.
That's fine. If it's because you don't like the pictures in the background, let me know. If it's because you don't like the TV and you want me to smash it live on TV, tell me and I will.
Live on TV? Are you live on? Are we live on TV?
We are live on TV, I guess. That would be great if we were, wouldn't it?
Sunglasses, isn't it? It just puts people. It's people reflecting. You need your turtles ones. That's what it is. Oh, nice.
Yeah.
They're your loot crate ones.
Now I can listen to this. Is what it's like when you listen to debates and you've got these away.
Yeah.
I'm going to do these. I'm going to start mainly doing these.
Video doing that. You'd probably get thousands of views for that. Just.
Well, actually, talk about that.
Hypnotoad.
But you know what? Talk about that. I've actually had some good ideas for my channel lately, actually.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I shall tell you them after.
You want to do the like the CSI, like CSI Miami or something? Just put them on going. Wow!
Do you remember that Miami video?
Oh yeah. No.
Remember?
Yeah. That was amazing.
And that went viral.
It's funny, you know what? When you see that back now, that was so many years ago, and when you think that was back in the early days of YouTube, it's insane. That does make you feel old.
And you think if he'd have been there, that guy would have made some serious money.
I know, yeah, exactly. But no, you know what? Like I say, I went to a family do last year, and they were all talking about their jobs and stuff. And, you know, like I say, because I'm not able to work because of my health and that, I was just like, they were like, what do you do? I was like, I'm a YouTuber, you know, trying to be as positive and everything like that. And they're like, oh, what do you do? I'm like, oh, I review movies and video games, and, you know, we do chats and stuff, and we're being
Yeah.
nice Fargo bean. That's even better. See, look, you just look.
I've just created a new character.
I even better is like with the you know, the earbuds kind of thing, you know. You just need a chain around your neck now.
I just think
You'd
like
be
this.
so chavtastic. It would be amazing.
You're rocking me out here, Chad. Keep on telling me about that stuff, yeah?
Yeah. Isn't it?
What's this about, family?
But yeah, no, so I was just like, I review stuff and that, and they were just like, eh. I was just like, well, you know,
What are they
don't
doing?
knock it until you've seen it, you know, kind of thing.
What are they doing? Sitting in an office, filing? Boring. Doing YouTube videos is exciting. It's fun.
Oh, my mum doesn't get it at all. She's just like, so what is it you do? And I'm like, well, I talk about stuff.
Next time, go on live. Next time, say next time when you're around there, I'll go on those live chats, like the ones you see on the TV.
Yeah.
Right? Then they'll think they're doing something like Babe Station or something.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
when they give it their look, you can go, yeah, I do really well at it as well. And then they won't even. Then you don't know because you're doing a chat. You see?
Yeah, exactly. So wrong. It so suits you at the same time. But I think that's what's been funny, even like, you know, like the board games that me and Donna have done and stuff like that. It's fun to do videos like that. So we need to do another one soon, but it's just finding the time.
Yeah, I like those videos.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, I sit and watch
We were
them.
going to do The Walking Dead, so but we've just not gotten around to recording it yet. We played it to try it out because we wanted to figure out the rules before we videoed it, because we didn't want another X-Files situation where we were like,
You
how
mean
do you play this?
you mean where it's like 30 minutes of the manual kind of thing?
Book. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. How do you play this? Yeah, this isn't very much prepared here.
No, exactly. But then you read the rule book and you're still sat there going, okay. Because I don't normally do manuals anyway. Normally I would just be like, I learn from playing, say. But, you know, it made sense to go through it, especially because we needed to explain it to the people that were watching. But, yeah, we had a go at Walking Dead, and we really want to record that. But it's just, and we really want to record some of us playing, like, you know, like Mario and stuff. You know, like the co-op stuff, like we're doing, but with the other games kind of thing. So
I think you're right.
yeah, you must be getting hot in that. So.
Hold on, mate.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. You know when they like that? Let's do it. Hold on. When they like that, I like it when they like that. Hold on, where is it? You know when they're listening, they're like,
yeah.
you know,
Oh my
like,
god, I hate my headset that I have for my PlayStation, because I look such a twit in them. Seriously, those kind of headphones are good and they're snug against your head.
Yeah.
But my PlayStation ones, they like come away from my head, and I like saw myself in the mirror once while wearing them. You know, like while we were chatting and I was walking past.
Did you say you soiled yourself in the mirror?
I saw myself in the mirror. And I saw myself in the mirror, and I was just like, oh my god, they look awful. I was just like, do you want to see them, actually? I'll just quickly get
let's
them.
see 'em.
Yeah, you talk about, so I could pop to, I'll be back in a sec.
Okay.
Talk about your martial arts movies reviews.
Alright, well, you know, I've been wanting to do my martial arts movies reviews, and this has been going on for quite a while now. So, I'm going to give everybody an update. I contacted Celestial Pictures, as many people will know that watch this, and watch my other videos. They haven't got back to me, so what that means is I'm probably not going to be able to do them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and do some other ones if I can. And I don't want to just do martial arts, obviously. I want to review loads of different things. It's just a matter of figuring out what I can. you know, because I see people on YouTube reviewing, like I saw one guy reviewing Terminator Genesis. Now, why isn't that copyrighted? You know, why isn't that a copyright thing? Is it because trailers are not copyrighted, trailer footage, but at the same time, I don't know. So I'm going to be looking into that more because I want to get the right file because I don't want to just be doing normal reviews. I want to do more better reviews. Like I want to upgrade to some videos or maybe even some pictures if I can because I feel at the minute that it's a lot harder. So I'm going to get back into it very soon.
Tip for you: don't walk through an unlit house while you've got wearing sunglasses.
Why did you smack yourself?
I may have. What were you talking about? Sorry, because my headphones are.
I was talking about the martial arts. I was saying about I didn't hear back from Selection Pictures. I was saying about I'm going to try and look at other things to review, and I want to upgrade them with either some pictures or some video footage, and that's what I want to do. But I need to find out what ones I can do at the minute. And I was also saying,
it might be worth looking what companies do some of the movies you get.
And I was also saying about how it had some guy did a Terminator Genesis review with Terminator Genesis footage in it, and surely I'd have thought that would have been copyrighted.
Yeah.
So I don't get how the whole thing works.
That some people get away with it easily, and then you're, you know, for the simplest thing, you get completely.
Yeah, I don't know, but it's something I have to look into more.
Yeah.
So where are they?
So these are my PlayStation headphones with microphone. They're Turtle Beach. These got recommended to me. Now they're comfy and that, and I swear by them. I love them. They're good. But look at this. Look, a complete twat. Look how much gap is there. I can't. Like, it doesn't really show up much on. But,
it looks like a lot.
Look how much gap is there. It's hilarious. Like other headphones, you have nicely sat against your head and that. No, I look like I'm bloody. You know the Napster, the old Napster logo with that face and the head. I look like that.
You look like you're a air traffic.
I do. Testing. Flight 412, will you please come in? Drop 100 degrees.
You know what would be funny is if one actually went boom right by your head.
Oh my God! Can you imagine? They're actually Bluetooth. They don't really need this cable. Just
that'd be mental.
Yeah, they're not the most attractive. You know, like if I did a video like PewDiePie and stuff like that, I would not sit here wearing these because seriously,
it's funny. You look like you were like a rocking one up.
I look like Stevie Wonder now.
Yeah. I just call.
I can make that because I can make that joke because I'm half white. So, but yeah, no, just so that's those. So I swear they're really good. I mean, they do the job, but they're just not. If you're after fashion, then they're not the ones to wear. Yeah,
I've heard Turtle Beach are the best.
Yeah, they are really good quality, like hearing wise and that.
My ones are Logitech.
Ah, much like your camera.
Yeah, just like the camera because I bought it, didn't I, for the job thing.
Yeah.
If I listen to movies on it, surround sound, it's incredible.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I can't listen to surround sound really that loud in my ears all day. Like, I don't like. I like being able to hear everything, even if I have, like listen from the speaker.
Yeah.
And I like this, where I can hear stuff. So if I've got that on, I'm in surround sound. It's going to be like boom, boom, boom.
Yeah.
I will say this. I mean, I know we started watching The Walking Dead last night.
Yay! Season 3 is it you're on?
Season 3, because I'm like 3 seasons behind now.
So you're finally at the prison.
At the prison. Now, I read in the comics, I read all the way until they got to, I don't want to spoil it, to the bit where it's just Carl and Rick and the baby.
Right, yeah. Are you at Terminus in the comics or not?
When they get to the, when they get to the new place after the prison.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Terminus, yeah.
Yeah, that's where I left off.
Yeah, right, yeah.
I think because that's when I basically sold my things and I need to rebuy them.
You need to rebuy them, yeah.
I could just download it, but I don't want to. I want to own the books.
Yeah, because my first encounter, I read the first issue I managed to get as a digital download like a couple of years ago. So I'd love to get it, properly own it though.
I was looking at getting the comics individually,
Yeah,
and big mistake.
it's quite expensive.
Well, a $3.99 comic now is like $80.
Yeah.
And then you got all these variants. I hate variants. I don't. I think they're nice,
Oh,
but
yeah.
people. And if you look on eBay, all these ones that have been graded and they're like $600, just like sod off. It's not even that
I get
old.
that for the X-Files season 10. I'll go on, like, because there's some variant covers that I really love the artwork on, and I'm like, oh, that'd be cool to own, you know. And then you go on and, like, you say they're like £15 for one issue, and I'm just like, no, I own the issue. I'm only after this for the front cover, you know, kind
Yeah,
of thing.
you know. I mean, don't get me wrong. I would like the comics just because I like all the artwork.
Yeah.
And I know if I go into it, I know it's going to cost me a lot.
Yeah.
But I know there is one numpty out there that will sell the lot for a really stupid price.
Yeah, it's gonna. Yeah, you're gonna be lucky, fortunate.
And
But I
that's
think
all
you saw the Walking Dead ones that I got at Comic Con, the novel compilation things. I was looking up to get more of them, kind of thing, and like I say, they're like £10 an issue, like a volume, and I'm like,
that bloke conned you by saying that. You should have said, by
I
my
know,
law as a
completely.
customer, what
Yeah.
the price is on the item is what you're supposed to set it
Yeah,
for,
he
because that is the
completely.
law.
Yeah. I know, but you know what? Either way, we still got them cheaper than they
Right.
were. So, and I mean, they were only, and I got those 25 free boards. So I couldn't complain.
Well,
So,
technically, it was a win-win then, wasn't it? Really?
yeah, considering I'd been after boards for ages, and everywhere I'd looked, it was going to cost me like £10 to get, like,
Well,
you know.
you know, but going back to the series, we started watching
Yeah.
it last night.
Yeah.
And the thing I like about the first episode of series one, not series one, series three, I think is it called Seed?
No, I think so. Hang on, I can look it up.
I know one of them's called Seed. There was Seed
Yeah.
and Sanctum, I think it was.
Yeah, I
Anyway,
think it's okay.
it was episode one of series three.
Yeah.
What I liked about the episode was in the first like 10 minutes, there's practically no talking whatsoever.
No. Well, that was, but in the first episode, the very first episode of season 1, there was very little talking for like a good like half hour or so, wasn't it? And I think they were trying to return to that kind of, because that issue, that episode built up so much tension. I think they were trying to go for the same thing, but yeah.
Because Donna was going to me about how, you know, about how you could hear them all breathing like they're all heavy smokers.
Yeah.
And I said that's the way of trying to build tension, like a fear, like.
Yeah, that fear of
I did like it when they found the prisoner. I was like, oh, here it is. Here's the prisoner. You know. And then when they found the inmates, I was like, yeah, I know where this is going. Except in the comics.
Called Seed. Sorry.
And what was the second one called?
Sick.
Oh, okay, so it's close. As soon as I found those guys, I went, what one's the one he's going to kill? What one is the thing? I was like, there's more there than there is in the comics, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
But I have to admit, there's a bit in episode 2, where Laurie says to him, oh, today was a good day. And you're like, really? He killed people.
Yeah, exactly. Poor Herschel was in a bad condition, but you know.
Oh, that bit, I love the bit where Herschel gets it.
Yeah.
You know, but it was good. But I have to say the best bit of the night for the 2 episodes was the bit where Rick stares the guy out and then kills him.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, that was amazing. That was excellent. Because that Git, honestly, it was just the way he just like let the zombie, like threw the zombies at Rick. It was just like.
Well, the way he just smashed his mate's head in as well.
Yeah.
I said to Donna when he did that, I said, well, we know what he's in prison for.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
You know? And then when he throws the zombie, like when he almost hits Rick and then he throws the zombie at Rick, I'm like, bloody hell, you know, right?
Yeah.
But as soon as that happened and Daryl killed the zombie on top of him, you could tell between him and Daryl it was like, yeah, the bloke's going to die.
Yeah.
And I like the bit where Rick just talks to him and goes, stuff happens, right? And there's that stare down, and then he just calms his head, and it's like brilliant, you know.
I like it though when you've got like the inmates that are still alive, you know, and it's just like, what do I do with them? And you're debating because you're like, do I trust them or oh look, the Third Man's coming out on Blu-ray. Sorry. And you're like, oh, well, do you trust them or not, kind of thing.
Well, the thing is, I'm sure the bloke with the moustache and the beard was the child molesting killer in the comics. I'm positive of it. I could be wrong.
Nice, yeah, because I was going to say about him, because I was like, he was such an enjoyable character in the series for as long as he lasted. But like you say, in the comics, if he's
I'm sure he was the character because they trust him, and he ends up doing the laundry and stuff. And there's 2 kids in it with him, and they go into the thing, and he kills them.
Yeah.
Right, and he runs out with their heads in his hand like this, while he's practically naked, if I remember correctly. And Rick smashes his face, killing him.
Oh, really?
He smashes his hands, killing the bloke. I'm sure of it. If you know.
Because they end up having him have a bit of a thing with some tension with Carol, and you're just like, no, she's Daryl's, and Daryl doesn't make a move. But
and then you got Michonne.
Yeah.
Who turns up, and she's with Andrea.
Yes, they have this whole like sister romance going on, don't they?
I was like, I remember that woman. And then when I saw him die, I was like, you know. But in the comics, I think in the comics, Michonne. I think if I remember, I could be wrong because I haven't read the comics in ages. I think Kathy has a relationship with T.
Right. Yeah.
And I think Michonne hits on T and she gives him oral in the yard. And I think Carol sees it and gets upset, and all this weird stuff happens. But I haven't read the comics in ages, so I could be wrong. And so the characters are slightly different in the show, so it could be a different guy.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But that happens, you know. So
well,
it's interesting.
I remember. Sorry.
What I was going to say was it's interesting because the whole dynamic of the show gets more and more different from the comics as the seasons go on.
Yeah, you're left kind of guessing, like, how is this going to... But I do remember at the end of season 2, because I know a lot of people had a lot of problems with season 2, and I actually didn't mind it. I get why people, because there was a lot of like to and fro, and especially poor Dale, who ended up like as this kind of moral compass for the group, who was essentially getting ignored, and they ended up having all these committee meetings and that got a bit annoying. But I didn't mind season 2 as much as everybody like puts it down. But I remember after what went down at the barn at the farm, and there was that shot of Michonne like in the final episode of season 2, and everybody was like, oh my god, you know, like the comments they were like, oh my god, Michonne, can't wait to see her in the new season and that. And then it was interesting to see how she was integrated, because obviously she saved Andrea and that. So as somebody who hadn't read the comics or didn't know her character at that time, it was interesting to see, because personally I can't stand Andrea, and I'm not a big fan of Laurie Holden. And I mean, I've known her since she was in the X-Files, and then she did the Silent Hill movie and The Mist and stuff, but I've never enjoyed her character anyway. So to see like Michonne being this strong woman, essentially looking after a sick Andrea, it was just like, oh my god, Andrea's like sapping everybody else in the scene again, you know, kind of thing.
You know,
But it was interesting, the chemistry between them, the friendship that kind of the bonds that they had over the winter.
I read up for they've got an ending for the show.
Oh really?
Yeah, they've got an ending for the show, but I reckon the show could go on for at least 6 more seasons.
Oh really? I heard at least another 2. I heard it would have like 8 seasons or something.
I read it was at least another 6 if they had the ratings.
Yeah. I think they'll lose them if Norman Reedus leaves.
I don't. I think if Norman Reedus goes, I think that'd be so shocking. People be like, anybody can die.
Yeah. I think they need it in a way. I mean, I want Daryl to stay, but at the same time, his character has become so boring lately.
I think season 6 he'll die.
I mean, I know we talked about this before, was, yeah, because I mean he was going to leave last season, wasn't he? And now
Because
everybody's saying season 6.
the problem with people, and this is what pisses me off with people like Norman Reedus, who doesn't take his cap off and his sunglasses in Comic-Con pictures,
Oh my God, yeah.
is that they start getting tired of being in a show, all right? Now,
Yeah.
that show is paying him about 300 grand an episode.
Yeah.
Why the hell would you be tired of getting a fixed income?
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
I mean, you're guaranteed. I mean, if he wants to, this is the problem with people who get like all uppity. They're like, oh, I don't want to get stuck in the same thing. It's like you're guaranteed. Whereas, I mean, I said about this like with John Ratzenberger, who was saying about like, you know, there's such a small percentage of actors in Hollywood that actually do have a job and stuff. And he was saying, you know, he's grateful for what, you know, the work he does with Pixar and stuff. He said he's just lucky. He counts himself lucky to have that guaranteed job. Whereas there's people like Norman Reedus that don't look at it and go, oh, actually, I'm lucky to be in a job where I'm regularly paid. Because once he goes out there, I think he just expects that his name will get him from job to job. And that's not always the case, especially as he gets older.
Exactly.
Sorry,
See, this
I didn't.
is the thing. No, I agree with you completely. So this thing that annoys me. In my view, because they asked Andrew Lincoln, they asked him, what does he think will happen in the end?
Yeah. Oh, Rick can't leave because he's the central character.
And he said in the end that it all comes down to exactly what he said to Carl.
Yeah.
Eventually, everybody will be gone.
Yeah.
All right? And he said to him, one day you're going to be on your own having to defend yourself.
Yeah. And
I think the whole thing of The Walking Dead is the fact that I think the end of the series will have Rick dying.
Yeah.
And I think if they do it right, they could do it fantastically. Because I think you could have it where Rick thinks of, just as he dies, you see all the things he's done.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
You know, like as he's got hit or something.
Yeah.
And the one thing I will say about Andrew Lincoln is he does play Rick really well.
Yes, yeah.
I think he's a more mellow Rick than in the comics.
Mm.
But at the same time, he's still got that real intimidation factor about him. Like, you can tell he's getting more and more unstable.
That crazy look on his face. Yeah.
Because there's a bit in one of the episodes where Carol says to Daryl, I never thought he'd get us this far.
Yeah, exactly.
And she says to him, Shane wouldn't have done.
No, exactly.
And I think the thing with Rick is he is very methodical.
Yes.
And he is very, he is a thinking man. But at the same time, when it comes to it, he doesn't think either, but it still works.
Yeah.
You know, and he does see them as people he needs to protect, but he also sees them like his army in a way where it comes to, we need to do this now. You know?
Yeah.
And I think it's kind of interesting when you look at the characters and how they've changed since the very first episode.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's what I said, I said last time. You know, it's funny going back when I was showing Jane, and you watch the first episodes from the season 1, and you see, you know, there's so much cleaner and nicer hair and stuff, and especially somebody like Glenn. I mean, we've talked about how far he came. Now, this past season, he's been a little bit flat for me, but at the same time, it's interesting to see how far he's come, kind of thing.
Well, Daryl has remained Daryl.
I know, Daryl's just Daryl.
So does that mean the rednecks during post-apocalypse setting are going to stay the same?
I know, it's kind of depressing, isn't it? No, what I love about Daryl is considering where he came from and considering what his brother was like and everything. He has got that emotional side that he tries to keep hidden, but every now and then it slips, you know, kind of thing.
Well, so. I like how he's very protective.
Yeah.
When you see him, he totally works together with the others. He's not like Meryl was, where he's like, fuck you, and all this. It's totally like, this is my family now. I must protect them.
Well, that is the thing. Yeah, because he and Rick, they have that real kind of, you know, they like brother, you know, kind of thing. So
they have that romance going on.
They have a total romance going on.
Yeah, I'd love it, because everyone wants to see him. I'd love it if you saw a scene of him and Rick getting it on. That would be brilliant. You know?
Well, they confirmed because he had a thing for Beth, apparently. So I don't know. Apparently Daryl did. They were like, after... I can't say too much because you're not at that point, so...
Well,
but,
I know, wasn't it Beth who died who everybody went crazy about and said, that's not good, you need to rewrite her back in?
Yeah.
But Carl had a thing for it.
Yeah, Carl had a cook too. I thought she and Carl might hook up or something because they had a little bit of.
But isn't she like 18 and Carl's like 14?
Yeah, exactly. It was a little creepy.
And you thought they were going to hook up?
No, but they had this, like, every now and then she would have this little flirtatious bit with him, and you'd think that, but certainly I couldn't have imagined Daryl. But then when she died, he was absolutely devastated, and everybody was like, apparently the producers said that was confirmation that he is straight, about how absolutely devastated by Beth's death he was. I was like, no.
He would have seen her like a little sister.
Yeah, I think that's what he saw as, really. But everybody's making it sexual.
One of the reasons people like Daryl is because he's classified as a real man.
Yeah.
Right. And he's got that, that kind of hotness to him. Well, only women can get.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't think he would have been with someone like Beth. Should have been too fragile for him.
Yeah.
At all.
I'm waiting for him to hook up with Carol. I never saw him as somebody that would go with Beth, but each to their own. I guess everybody has their own ship that they support. So
in my view, Carol would be better because she's got that rough around the edges.
Yeah,
she's got that darkness as well.
She has that dark past like he has. They both have their demons, kind of thing.
But I still think the perfect person for Daryl is Rick.
Yeah,
I want to see Rick. I want him to give Rick the nickname Rick the Dick, right? Right, and I want to when he goes, "Hey, Rick the Dick," and Rick turns home, I'm going like, "It's him," and I want that to happen in the show.
Yeah.
What would be wrong with that?
I know we talked about it before, but the season 6 trailer looks absolutely badass, especially with all the stuff with Morgan and that.
I have to be honest, I watched it, I had shivers go down my spine from excitement, and I felt like screaming, "Give me the season now!" Because the character Morgan, to me, like we said before, is fantastic because he was in the very first episode.
Yeah. Then, they kind of threaded him in this past season. They had him threaded in a little bit every now and then. But to now have him in properly full time, and especially because at some point he seems to have had the guy Lenny Jones, I can't remember the name of the guy who plays him. He was saying, because on the season finale, the last season finale, they then showed the Talking Dead series that they have with Chris Hardwick that gets shown in America. They actually aired it on Fox after their season finale here, and he was saying that Morgan has gone through this kind of he's had this like epiphany after everything that happened and that, and he's a lot less, he's not violent now, and he's against like this, that and the other, and it's curious to see how he's going to deal, because judging by the trailers he doesn't like the idea of Rick being so violent. So
I honestly think Morgan is the same as Rick.
Yeah,
I think they're the same type of guy, and I think that's what's going to make it so interesting. Do I think Morgan is all non-violence? No. I think it's something he wants, but I think he'd be as bad as Rick if he got the chance to be, if he had to be. And because you look at the respect they had for each other when they first met, right?
Oh yeah, and even when I know you've not gotten it up to it yet, but the bit where they meet up again, and there's still that respect there. So
they're both the same type of guy. And that's what's going to make it more gripping, because they're both
from the same town and that,
Yeah, exactly. They both had the same women. Hell, he probably was the one who got Laurie pregnant,
Yeah.
That would be a great twist, wouldn't it?
That would also if Judith had come out half-coloured or something.
Cole's not really your baby. He's mine. The awesome twist. But Donna wants to watch Donna's gonna start watching Game of Thrones.
Oh, what? Really? Yeah.
Yeah, she's gonna start watching that. If I'm talking to my cousins tonight, she's gonna start watching it tonight. And I said to her,
Alright.
you have to talk to me about Game of Thrones when you watch it. So now I can't watch season 4 until she's finished the other 3 seasons because she wants to watch them together.
No. Thankfully, there's not that many episodes in each season. So
that'd probably be 15 days if she watches them 2 in a day.
yeah.
But knowing Donna, she'll probably watch 1 because it'll be too violent for her.
Yeah. Do you reckon she'll get through it? It might be too violent, like nudity and stuff.
I kind of was a little bit gutted because after watching Walking Dead with her last night, I was so. I don't want to tell you. I don't want to tell her this, but I was so like, I was like, no wonder Tash does this with people because it's so incredible, right?
Yeah.
I was laying on the sofa, all covered up, watching it, get my feet tickled, you know. Shit, I should have said that last bit. But. And it was fun, you know. We were sitting there, we were enjoying it. When the episode ended, we'd talk about it.
Somebody else, you
know, and it was nice. So I enjoyed that. So I'm hoping we do that more because we're going to do it with Supernatural, we're going to do it with Walking Dead, and we're going to do it with Game of Thrones.
Yeah, that'd be awesome to be able to share that and to like introduce her to new stuff. And
because I told her, I said to her, if I hadn't seen the Game of Thrones, I'd watch them with her, but because I've seen them, I don't want to watch them again. So
no,
so,
no, exactly.
Yeah. So season 4 is right here, but I can't touch it until after now. And season 5 of Walking Dead comes out in August, so we're gonna half that and buy that on release date. I've got August. September. It's August
September
here.
Yeah,
it's August here. Nice. If it was September, I'd go mental. It's August. 25th of August.
Yeah, it's 25th of September here, so.
So
it will probably, you know what, they keep telling me, like 1 minute it was June, and then they said, oh no, it's going to be the 30th of September, and now they've just said, oh, it's the 25th of September, so more than likely I'll probably get an email at the end of August going, oh, it's out now.
It could be, because they do that.
But, still waiting, can't wait for Fallout 4, and we've got Rainbow Six Siege coming out, and that, so we've got a lot of games coming out before DVD box sets.
There we go. So,
at this rate, it looks like Halloween might not be happening at this rate.
Why?
So, well, apparently somebody was talking to somebody at LFCC, and apparently they've only sold 30 tickets for Halloween. No more guests have been announced. There's only the 2 guests announced at the moment. There has been no hotel code given to get a discounted room that they normally do. And there's been no updates. Now, everybody was thinking, oh, we'll get the updates after LFCC, but there is no word to show that this event is still going ahead.
Oh, wow.
So we're just waiting for somebody to either put us out of our misery and say, here's your refunds or something, which would help, or say, right, here's, because at the moment they've not got a big guest announced or anything. So at the moment they've not really got anything that's enticing people. So if I got that money back, that would be awesome. I could buy some games. I could buy the games that are coming out.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
I'd be like Just Cause 3, Rainbow Six Siege,
Metal Gear Solid 5,
a new Ghost Recon, Metal Gear 5, Fallout 4.
Mad Max.
I'm not really. You want Mad Max? I'm not really bothered by Mad Max.
Oh, what?
You know me, I'm not a Mad Max fan. I haven't even seen Fury Road yet, so I haven't seen all the others. I've only seen one Mad Max movie. I've not seen the others.
What one have you seen?
The first one.
Oh, good. Because if you'd have said Beyond Thunderdome, I'd have put my hands through the screen going, ah!
Oh, I have seen Beyond Thunderdome, but I didn't like it, so...
So you've seen 2?
Yes, I have seen 2. I completely forgot, sorry.
No wonder. Beyond Thunderdome is the worst one ever.
Blu-ray Dan says, hope you're doing well, man.
Oh, where's that?
What about me? What about one man? On the YouTube page.
Hey, Blue, hey Dan, how you doing? I'm doing good, thanks. It's good to hear from you.
No, hoping I'm well. Well, no, thanks for Blu-ray Dan. It's good to see a fresh face. So.
Very good. Ask some questions if you can, mate. It'd be awesome.
Because we know how much of a exactly. I'm looking forward to get. I was going to say about your Blu-rays. You could compare Blu-rays with Blu-ray Dan.
That'd be interesting.
Seeing as I have all of like 15.
Yeah, you have 15 Blu-rays. See, I looked at my Blu-ray collection. I've got about 3,461.
I thought it was just amazing seeing the picture of your watched Blu-rays that you've been doing. So.
Oh, you like that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I took that picture and I was like, I should have moved that CX bag.
Yeah, I know.
It's got a blow-up bottle of beer in it. That's what was even worse.
Well, I know it's down on the floor behind you because you moved the camera around, didn't you? And it's against that wall that's behind your seat at the moment. So.
Well, what is?
There's a CEX bag on the floor behind you.
Yeah, it's my new trademark, a CX bag in the background.
Yeah, CEX bag.
But yeah, that's all the stuff I watched in the last 2 years.
I'm stopping because, as I said on my movie and night reviews, I've got to stop doing Blu-ray Fridays for a little while because I started doing them every Friday. I was like, no, I haven't got enough Blu-rays to do that. I was supposed to only do them like once a month, but I kind of got into a rhythm of like doing them, and I was like, no, I need to stop now.
Well, how many did you do?
How many Blu-rays do I have? I did like 3, like 3 weeks in a row, Blu-ray Fridays, and I was like, the intention when I first started doing them was to do only like 1 a month. But yeah, I kind of got ahead of myself and got a little too like into the rhythm of having that one day where I would do like an up-to-date movie. And yeah, I need to stop. So.
Oh, we've got a couple of comments from the Warlock 03.
Ah, hello, John.
Fury Road is pretty good.
Oh, really?
And so you have about 14 more than James does, Tash. Oh dear.
Well, yeah, that's not difficult. He doesn't even have season 9 on VH. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have about 18. I lied. I have 18.
18?
Yeah.
And did you know? Have you got on the list?
I got a list, yeah.
Tell me, did you type it out?
Oh no, I have a whole database of all my DVDs.
I used to, and I still do. But I got tired of DVD Profile not letting me change names. Because it has to be by the credits. So if you have Jackie Chan movies and it's Jackie.
Oh yeah.
And his early films have Jackie Jacky. It has to be Jacky in that one, even though it's supposed they can't go together.
Yeah.
So I started. So I
started
doing another one, and I shall show you right now. This hasn't got a lot on it because obviously I'm still working on it. And this is called Eric's Movie Database.
All right. Oh no, mine is just a spreadsheet. Look, I'll show you mine. Oh, hang on. See yours first. Oh wow. See, mine's not that good. So mine's just a database. It's just a spreadsheet.
So I'm working on getting all my titles on there, you know?
Yeah. Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
At least you have all the pictures and that. Mine's just literally titles on the screen. Look, I'll show you mine. Mine's really shitty. Bearing in mind, I just add to it every, whenever I am. It's literally just that. Like a whole
dear. Oh dear.
I know.
Why don't you move to Eric's Movie Database?
This is just easy because it's on my computer, so.
Hold on, go down. How many have you got altogether? It's like.
Oh, hang on.
Where's their gaps?
Because that's
okay.
That's DVDs.
So you've probably got about 1,100.
Yeah.
Okay.
I know it's not many of you, but it's still
I didn't say anything. You've got them all in alphabetical order, so.
Yes, and that's sad.
Yeah.
I know I shouldn't have put all the does together, but you know.
Oh, do you know? I thought I don't like the Bodyguard and having it in the B section. I don't like that stuff.
Oh, I can't stand that. That's why I put all the does together, because then I know it'll be there on T.
Yeah.
So yeah, so
I'm surprised you didn't put the company.
I know. You know what? I was gonna do like a whole like the year and that, because some
Yeah.
of these obviously I've got both the original and the remakes, and I think some of them I might have put remake in brackets next to it, but yeah.
Because
So.
before I used that, the Eric's database one, I used to use. Who are we? Who are you? I've shown this, I'm sure,
Because
before.
you had like Blu-ray.com or something, didn't you? Or...
Oh, I still use Blue.com, but I haven't got all my stuff on there.
Yeah.
I used. Where is it? There it is. I used to use DVD Profiler, but the problem is it won't let me change stuff, and it won't let me. What's the word? It won't let me. It's certain things are not on there.
Yeah.
So I'll show you that quickly because I've got my Invalos one, the DVD profile on my YouTube page. Then
Oh
it
yeah.
says I've got like 1,000 something, but that's not even close to what I've got, obviously.
Mm.
Let me show.
Oh, thank you, John. That's
No.
nice.
Okay.
People are missing out on your movie reviews, Tash. Quality and knowledge all wrapped into one good review a night. Thank you, John. I'll be doing another one tonight. I'll be back.
That's awesome, John. You're a good fellow, John.
I took a week off because of LFCC, so
And this
I'm
is why
looking
we call him
forward.
Little John.
I'm really looking forward to getting back to doing proper, like the Freddy FR07 one, the full reviews that are like
Yeah.
half an hour long. Because I've been working on one for a good couple of years now, but I kind of got stopped with doing other stuff. So there is one I'm working on at the moment that I know I've mentioned countless times in chats last year and that. So of Brave Star. But it's just I just haven't gotten back to watching it. So
You need to get the passion.
I know. I just need to. I'm so not enjoying watching movies at the moment. I'm not watching the right movies.
You know, I'm enjoying watching movies, but at the same time, I'm watching the movies and I know I just can't review them.
Yeah.
Because
No, I
I
know. That's
know
the annoying thing for you.
the thing is, I know I can, but I know that I can't at the same time. Like, I I watched the Shadow Boxer last night and that was terrible.
Yeah.
As a
That
guy in it,
studio thing wasn't any help.
it has a guy that is learning Tai Chi from his master, and through like an hour and 10 minutes of it, he gets beaten up constantly because he won't fight. His girlfriend gets raped, his teacher gets killed, his friends get beaten. He still doesn't fight until the last 20 minutes. And I'm just like, that's not what I watch a movie for. If I'm watching a martial arts, I want to see martial arts.
You want to see martial arts? Yeah. Much like that
The
City
same
of Pain or whatever it was called. You
City
don't.
Under Siege.
Yeah, you don't watch a movie to see demons. It's like like a kung fu movie. You don't expect to
I
be seeing.
the guy who was in City, not City Under Siege. The guy who was in the Shadow Boxer. He killed
Yeah.
himself.
Oh really?
He
Oh
was
god.
24 years old. He killed himself.
Jeez.
Yeah, that's horrible.
That's awful. Yeah.
It happened, you know.
Did you hear they're remaking The Crow?
Yeah,
I can't believe that. Poor Brandon Lee. That must be.
Brendan.
I
Who's
don't know why I
Brenda?
said Brendan. I'm just.
You mean Brenda Lee? Huh?
Yeah. She's an awesome singer. Can't go wrong with Brenda Lee.
Did
I
you hear
love
about
Brenda
Whitney
Lee.
Houston's daughter?
Huh?
Did you hear about Whitney Houston's daughter?
No. What was that?
She took, I think she took like an overdose and she was in a coma for months.
Oh god.
And she
Is she
died.
alive? Oh, she
22.
died.
22.
Gee.
I think she was 22. It was either 22 or 24.
Yeah.
But going back to The Crow, yeah, I think it's wrong because the movie hasn't been out that long.
I know it's not like even an old movie. It's like.
I'd expect them to remake that in like 2040.
Yeah, another 10 years at least.
It came out what, 1998?
Yeah, something like 90 something. I don't know. Yeah.
I guess it's been nearly 20 years.
Still, it's not that old. I mean, the fact that a big star, well, not a big star, but a rising star died on set is
It's a
not
curse.
exactly respectful. Well, no, it's...
To think Bruce Lee and his son both died.
Yeah, but didn't he join the 27 Club or whatever it is?
27 Club?
Is it 27 Club? The age a lot of stars have died at. Like Amy Winehouse and that. They all died, and Kurt Cobain and that.
Are you going to watch that Amy Winehouse documentary film?
I don't know. I thought she was an amazing singer and that, but I'm sorry, it's not that really. I'm not that really bothered.
I mean, you're not really interested in that kind of thing.
I'm just idiot. Sorry, I was looking up what year The Crow was, and I accidentally missed out the R and put the cow on IMDb.
Well, I'll be honest with you. My cousin was 94.
It's coming out next year. The remake.
Oh, okay. Well, that makes sense. And I guess 22 years. My cousin watched it, and after he watched it, he went, "Oh, everybody's attacked her, and no deaths because of them."
Yeah.
And then he went on to say stuff about Taylor Swift.
Okay.
Yeah. And he didn't mean anything bad about it or anything, but I have to be honest. I personally, I feel bad for her because I feel bad for anybody who basically kills themselves from, like addiction and stuff.
Yeah.
Do I feel bad more for her family?
Yeah.
People, my view, people who feel sorry for people after it's happened and have to watch a film to feel bad for them, that's their problem. There's guilt on their side. Mate, I didn't care about Amy Winehouse before. I'm not going to care about her after. Will I watch the documentary? Probably, but I won't be because I care about it. It's because I care about the situation.
Yeah, exactly.
Like if a good Michael Jackson one came back to me, I'd probably watch that. I didn't like the guy, but I'd like to hear more.
I don't like those kind of things. The thing is with those kind of documentaries and that, they go for the whole pity kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I'm not, it was an awful thing that happened. But at the same time, I mean, you can say, like we've had it with like the Marilyn Monroe movies and that, where they try to go, oh, she was in the limelight. It was too much for her. She turned to drugs, this, that, and the other. And we've seen that story told time and time again, and every time they do it, they keep wanting us to go, oh, she was so, it was too much for her, we should feel sorry for her, this, that, and the other. And it's like, but at the same time, we've talked about this, with the whole, the Kiefer Sutherland stuff and that. There's only so much you can keep going, well, I'm sorry, you go into this business knowing it's going to be tough. If you take up on drugs and stuff, then it's your own, I feel frustrated. It's difficult, I guess, from my family background and stuff, regarding alcohol. But it's just, I get frustrated where they keep trying to make us just feel sorry for these people that get themselves in these situations.
You've had problems with pill with alcohol in the past. I've had problems with drug addiction in the past.
Yeah, exactly.
Right, so we both know about how this story is. Right?
Yes. Yeah.
People can feel sorry for the person, but at the same time, they make those choices.
Yes.
I don't care what people say. People always say, "Oh, they were driven to it." If I was driven and if I went to England, I killed James in Bristol tomorrow.
Yeah.
Right. Oh, I was driven to it. I was driven to it because this didn't happen. That happened. Right. That won't be accepted. Right.
Yeah.
So why is it okay to accept people with addiction problems? I know that addiction is a terrible thing. It needs to be fought. But if you're going to rehab and then you want to uncharge yourself, and that's your own fault, surely.
Yeah, exactly.
I've heard miraculous stories about people about drug and alcohol addictions and have become even better people from it.
Yeah, exactly. We're not judging. I mean, but I'm like we've said, with our past, I'm from a family where alcohol is a big deal and stuff, and I have depression, I have but I don't drink. I mean, I have I have a glass of Malibu and Coke at Christmas or on my birthday, but I don't drink otherwise. That's not you know, I've not been driven to some kind of, and like you say, addiction is, sorry, that was all completely pointless me saying, but I was trying to demonstrate a point and I realised
Yeah.
I kind of stepped off. But you know what I'm saying though, it's, like you say, some people go through those addiction and they go through rehab and they come out so much stronger than when they went in. You know, but I feel like we keep getting fed the same story over and over again, and that is the problem when they keep making these movies like about people like, you know, like, I mean, you could then say, oh, let's make one about Cory Monteith out of Glee and stuff. You know, it's the same story over and over again. I don't feel like we're getting anything new out of it.
I don't see how. I don't see it. My view is, and it's probably because of my mum.
Yeah.
My mum has always been very hard on things like drugs, alcohol, sex, all that stuff. When I say sex, I'm talking about being responsible doing sex, not sex like, you know. I'm talking about being responsible in case of things like AIDS and stuff like that, you know. She's been very strict and stuff for me as a kid. So I think a lot of my views are thanks to my mother and thanks to the things I've seen in my life. But saying that, if it wasn't for my mother, who knows what I would have done as a kid, you know? And I don't blame parents. I don't blame things. Me, myself, always believe the individual needs to stand up and say no themselves and they need to fight it. If you can't fight
I think Donna just said exactly that on the comments, You only become addicted to drugs because you make the decision to take them that first time, even though you know it will lead to addiction.
That's a good point. I think
that's the thing, you know, It's the same with smoking and that. You know it's going to lead to addiction, but, you know, sometimes it's peer pressure. There's so many different factors. But
it's like wanking. Right? You do it the first time, you know it's going to be an addiction, but you can't stop.
Yeah, you can't stop.
But no, that was me adding a bit of comedy in case people get a bit, you know. But you know, people.
We're not trying to judge or anything, but we're trying to. I'm just. My point was just to get fed up of.
I'm judging everybody right now.
I don't feel like I would gain anything new from watching the Amy Winehouse story. Like I say, it's sad what happened to her and that at such a young age. But at the same time, at the end of the day, she was the one that made that decision to take the drugs and that. You know.
Let's be honest. Let's take away from Amy Winehouse.
Yeah.
Let's take away from things.
Anyone, yeah.
If I became an addict tomorrow, right, you'd be like, oh, it's terrible. I'm gonna be there for Mal. I want to help him through it, right?
Yeah.
But at the same time, after a period, you'd be like, there's no point because now he's getting aggressive with me. He's getting a bit horrible, and he's not the same person anymore.
Yeah.
Right. That in that point, you'd be like, you know, I still want to be friends with him, but I want to distance myself at the moment until he gets himself sorted.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Not because you'd be judging me, but because you won't be able to handle that because of how you know me. It'd be breaking your heart.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
And I feel like this is the thing that people don't show people who've got addictions as much. They give them the money, they give them the stuff. My mum, she would, if I was an addict, she'd grab hold of me, she'd lock me up, and she'd probably beat the fuck out of me. Right? And you know what? At the end of it, I'd probably thank her for it if I was in that position.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because I believe with these people, you have to be hard.
Yeah.
You know, because at the end of the day, it's like anything. It's like the greatest martial artists of all time. They didn't become that way because they had an easy trainer.
Yeah.
You know? So that's my view, and I know a lot of people won't like that. And if you don't like it and you're watching this, put a comment down below and say that. Right?
Yeah.
If you do, put a comment down below and say this. Yeah!
Yeah, Malcolm. Vote Malcolm.
Yeah. Vote Malcolm for 2016 president of YouTube.
Yeah.
But
I just wanted to quickly read John's comment. Sorry.
Okay.
You guys keep kicking ass, and I will talk to you later, Malcolm. I can't wait to see you guys gaming video that shows both sides of the story, not just Malcolm's clever editing that always seems to be in his favour.
Charming, John. Charming.
I don't think it was in your favour. But...
Yeah, well, you know, I think it's just trying to kiss up to you a bit, you know. I remember that little John. I shall remember. Sorry for my recent absence, but I'm back now. Had to do a couple of things. How are you both? Listen, James.
You asked that earlier. We're
Doing good,
still here.
James. Doing good. Ask some questions, James. You know you can do it. Ask them.
You can do it. Go on.
But yeah, going on to a better note now.
But we will be doing that editing and sorting out what's going to happen.
What we'll do is after the chat, we'll talk about it and see what we both want to do. All right?
Yeah.
And then because I didn't work on it because I wanted to figure out what we were doing and add it in or whatnot because I didn't want to just put mine because, you know, it can be quite difficult because I want people to be able to see it all and I want to be able to mix it together.
Exactly.
And, you know, I'm not sure if we both completely recorded the same part, so, but we'll say.
No, that's the thing. It's,
It can be quite difficult doing it that way, but we'll figure it out eventually. It's a matter of just timing it down.
Yeah. So are you hyped for Ant-Man? Because that's coming out, or is out, or whatever.
Is out. It's been out.
Yeah. Yeah. Did
no.
you see it? Do you know much about it, or?
I do know about it. I know Paul Rudd's it. I know he's a little ant, and he runs around with ants. And, you know, I always wondered about Paul Rudd. I always thought he was into ants, but now I know he is for sure.
I know Donna got the Lego Jurassic World game, so.
Ooh, is it any good?
I think she played through the first movie. I don't think. If you're still there, Donna, share with us about Jurassic World because it is a big thing with the Lego Dimensions doing their own version of the Amiibos, aren't they? In September.
I've got Donna saw that in GameStop on the thing.
Oh yeah.
And I said to her, I think it comes out in months. Right?
It's September here.
Right?
Yeah.
And I was like, I thought it was out, and I thought it was not coming out for like 3 more months. Then I found out the next day it was already out.
I'm confused about this because one minute it's because the Lego Dimensions one, which I think is the base. Now I thought the Jurassic World one was part of that collection because, as far as I knew, they were doing Jurassic World, Doctor Who, Back to the Future, Portal, Scooby-Doo, Simpsons, and stuff like that. You know, like all add-ons that you can have with that game. Yeah. But now Donna said they'd gone and got the Jurassic Park set, and I'm like, is that completely a different game or what? So I assume it's a completely different thing. But I am looking forward to Dimensions, the Back to the Future one and that. So
I'm looking forward to just seeing it all when it comes out. So
I think it's interesting though because we've gone from the whole. Sorry, yeah.
I never even knew after this was coming out.
Oh, did you not? No, because you don't have any of like the Disney like the little figures that you put on the base. Like
no, I think you know what? I know this is going to sound bad, but to me, I think it's a waste of money. Not the game, but the amount they're charging for each figure.
Yeah, Donna was saying how much they pay because they have Disney Infinity and they have a number of the different figures. And I know you can get deals on some of them. They were saying that they'd got deals on some of them. But some of them, I'm like, bloody hell, that's a bit expensive. You know, like,
one figure, last time I was in Best Buy with Donna, I saw the Infinity one. And I was like, oh, that's not a bad price for the game. And I said, let's have the figures. The first one like between $10 and $20 each.
Yeah. I mean, I'm curious to see the Portal version of the Lego Portal version. But I'm like, so I have to buy the game. I have to buy the base set, you know, like to put the figures on, and then I have to buy the extra figures, and I'm like, and I know it's essentially a new version of DLC, and I know the Disney ones and the Lego ones are going to be better than say the Nintendo Amiibos because you can actually use them as decent like figures kind of thing, and they do look nice. I know I've seen the Donna's Disney Infinity ones, and they are nice to look at, as opposed to the Nintendo ones. And I know obviously Lego is going to be, you know, you can take it apart and swap and stuff like that. But I think it's an interesting concept, but I do think it's extortionate. I mean, we've talked about DLC before, but I don't know how I feel about this whole figures thing because it is quite expensive.
Donna says 2 figures for 15 quid. That's a lot of money.
Yeah.
Sorry, I stepped into the kitchen. What did you ask me?
How dare you? I just asked how what Jurassic World is like. Is it part of the Dimension set, or is it a completely on its own game?
I think Jurassic World is separate.
Because originally they were talking about it being an extra DLC for Dimensions, but now, like I say, Donna said that they played through the first movies, so I guess it's a whole game on its own.
And James says, really enjoyed your London Film and Comic Con video, Tash. When is your next Exiles game review up?
My next, I am working on the next X-Files game review as we talk. Well, not as we talk, but before we were talking, I was working on it, and it's probably going to be a couple of weeks away because I haven't finished writing the script. I then got to record it, and then I got to edit it all, and the editing is what takes the most time. So it's probably a couple of weeks away. Hopefully. Certainly before the end of August, I'm hoping. So
I'm going to have to be going now, Malcolm and Tash. Really enjoyed the chat. Looking forward to next week's edition. Good night from James.
Good night, James. Thanks for being here at the start and the end. It was good to see you.
Good to see you, James. I'll see you soon. You and Sarah Michelle Gellar.
Yeah. I'll be even happier if Halloween doesn't happen, because it means I'll be able to go to LFCC Winter and meet James Masters. So.
Oh, I'm going to contact Halloween and I'm going to say to them, don't cancel.
Don't happen.
Don't cancel.
Oh, we now have 2 likes.
I have to be honest, as much as I think Halloween was good, at the same time, I think it's a bit, a little bit lackluster.
Well, I'm frustrated because there are so many Whedon, there's so much in the Whedonverse that they could get people from. And, I mean, I was happy with last year's lineup, but I do get frustrated with it's always Buffy people, and I'm like, I'd love to see people from Firefly or Dollhouse, and they've got one person going from...
Isn't that why it's called Halloween? Because it's supposed to be horror.
Well, no, it's supposed to be anything to do with Joss Whedon. The idea is that they have it around Halloween. But I mean, they've got one person from Dollhouse going at the moment and one person from Buffy. And that's all they've got announced so far. But they're not even big names. So.
Is it Lisa Dushku?
No, it's not. That's the thing. It's not even a big name from Dollhouse or Buffy.
Do you pay before you know who's going?
I did. I booked at last year's event, didn't I? Because I wanted to get my ticket.
You could be conned.
Well, yeah. Well, I wanted to because it was the first time I'd ever done it. I mean, like me and Donna, we've been to the Chevrons and we've never booked at the event ahead. And I have found going to the Halloweedens so beneficial for me, just like to get away kind of thing. On my own and that, and I was like, it would be nice to make this a yearly thing, and I booked it with the hope of getting a decent ticket number and stuff, so I can sit at the front of the hall.
And did you get a good one?
I did. I got gold 10s, so I technically can get in the front row, but I will, because I like to sit. Because of my eyesight, I need to sit central of the hall, like of the stage. So I'll probably sit on the end center one, like in the second row, because the central on the front row they reserve for the VIP seats, and unless they don't have any VIP attendees,
will you be going to Chevron again if you can?
We would like to. It's financially, it's for both of us. It's tough.
It's always finances with these things. I mean, look at Comic Con itself.
Well, look, I mean, I had photo shoots with people that I just could not afford to buy the autographs from. So, but yeah, no, financially it's a bit tough, and also we were looking because there is one. They do one for Supernatural that I know Donna would really love to go to. Because she's a huge Supernatural fan. So, but apparently the people that run that one aren't very good. So we're
Well,
kind of debating
I
it. So we're
know.
seeing who's announced, kind of thing.
Well, every year in Seattle they have a supernatural one, and
Oh,
it has
really? Yeah.
Jared Paletti and Jensen Ackles there every year.
No way. Yeah.
Every year. Oh, yep. I know because I missed it, and I was so tempted to go and just get a
Yeah.
picture of both of them and have a sign going, I hate this fucker. But I'd marry this one. You know, like, sorry.
Yeah. Yeah. Donna loves Jared Padalecki. So.
Imagine how weird that. Imagine the comments I'd got on that picture if I'd done that.
Oh my God, can you imagine? What's this? It's the On Its Own Lego game.
Curled up on the sofa playing it now.
Oh, okay.
It's pretty much the same as all the others. I love all the Lego games. Enjoy the humour.
Yeah, I don't like it now they talk, and I know me and Donna have talked about that, where we like them when they weren't talking, like it was done so much through the expressions and stuff and the music cues.
I like when they just go like this.
Yeah, yeah.
And I want to know what's happened because I rarely see the thing on the head anymore.
The what?
You know that bit on the head where you connected things?
Oh, yeah.
I
Like
barely
for
see
the
that.
hats and stuff. Yeah.
I think my favourite Lego game is to be Lego the Movie.
Yeah.
Just because that's the only one I've really played properly.
Yeah, because I played a demo of it, and I enjoyed what I played. I still haven't seen the Lego Movie.
After playing that, I didn't want to watch the Lego Movie.
Really?
Everything is awesome.
Awesome.
Everything is good.
Donna's going to be sat there hating us now because she's going to be sat singing that over and over.
That's the thing I like about the whole game.
Well, when we were at Milton Keynes, was it? I know I did it on a video. We did watch, like, before we left Milton Keynes, we watched like the first 5 minutes or so to get a taster of the Lego Movie because we hadn't seen it at that point. And it seemed fun. But since then, Donna has definitely seen it because I think she's seen it with her nieces. And yeah, she just keeps going around going, everything is awesome. So
The question
I
is
still
this.
haven't seen it. I keep seeing it in Tesco's, but it's still like £7 on DVD, and I'm like, I'm not paying £7 for a DVD.
Something like that you want Blu-ray.
Yeah, exactly. But it's like £15 on Blu-ray.
Yeah,
so
of
like,
course not. Go in CEX. It's £6 in there.
I know, I should go and see it. I just don't get round to CEX. The problem is with CEX is I can't get in there with my scooter, so I'd have to park it outside and then walk round, and it's not that I have an issue with that.
Oh, so they haven't got they haven't got disabled access.
Not really, no.
I'm gonna be reporting them later.
They're on level, but unless they've changed, their aisles
That's
really
what
aren't like.
I did that with my mum in Barking. They didn't have one, so I reported them and they ended up having one.
Yeah.
Because it's wrong.
Donna said the Harry Potter Lego was really good. Oh, yeah. Hi Chantel. I think Chantel may be watching. Can you give her a shout out? Hi Chantel.
Hello.
Malcolm loved your dress, your TARDIS dress.
Yes, I did. That's the first thing you tell. That's the first thing you tell everybody when a man's in the thing. Yes. Thank you.
But how badass was their sci-fi fan cam?
It was incredible. I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Multiple times, in fact.
Oh, God. It's the creepy chat.
Yes. No, seriously, it was great because the outfits were good and everything. The costumes.
The fact that they were all made from scratch and that was.
I thought it was brilliant.
Awesome.
I thought it was brilliant. You know, I'm looking forward to seeing what you guys do next year.
Yeah.
You know, I think it's awesome.
Oh, I discovered, going through some of the pictures, I found out there was a couple that went round as Mulder and Scully. I was so gutted I did not meet them. I was so annoyed, but I found, yeah, there was a picture of somebody that actually did cosplay as Mulder and Scully. I was like, oh.
Oh no! Were they in the video?
No, I don't think so. But
if they put a video up, if they put a video up and it's got them in there, you're gonna be so gutted.
You know, it's bad enough, I only got asked for one picture with somebody, and that would really piss me off if then I went on and like they're on the video or something. That was because I never, you know what, I've done cosplay, and you know what, it's the same for Donna. I mean, it was awesome when we got asked for a Twitter picture with Selena Jade from Arrow. That was awesome when we did our. Oh no, she asked for the picture of the signed thing she did for us, but yeah, it's so annoying when you do costume and you don't get asked for pictures. And I think as well, because me and Donna, we did costume at the first Chevron, and we got asked by so many people for pictures, and then we've done stuff since, and we don't really get the attention we deserve, you know, despite how much work goes in. I mean, I know Donna and Chantel got lots of, like, for their TARDIS dresses, which they fully deserved, but I was gutted because I only got asked for one picture in my Scully outfit, and I know it wasn't much to it, but...
Plenty of doctors, I'm sure.
Yeah, well, I wasn't bothered about the Doctor one because it was my own version of the Doctor, so I think if I'd properly been dressed as a Doctor, I would have... I mean, I did get asked for one picture. I did get asked for it because this woman, she was like, "Oh, I'm a big fan of the Fourth Doctor." I was like, "Well, I'm kind of an amalgamation." I was like, she was like, "Oh, I just saw the scarf," and was like, I was like, "Okay, whatever."
But what I'll have to do is next year I'll have to buy a whole different lot of outfits, right?
Yeah.
Not let you know I'm even in the area. Just keep turning up like, "Can I have a picture of you, please?" Right, and then when we're on the chat, just be like, "Oh, look, I got this picture. There we go." And you're like, "What the hell?"
It's just so funny that, like, for the Scully wig, I had to take, like, a whole wig care kit, you know, like, bless Donna, she worked her heart out trying to, like, you know, like, brush it and then use some hairspray and conditioner spray on it and everything just to try and get it, because unfortunately, like, when I had it for Halloween, I'd gotten some makeup on it, and it had kind of encrusted, and it was all, so it was trying to brush it out and stuff, so...
I've got asked for pictures about 10 times this time. Makes the effort worthwhile.
Yeah.
Do you know?
I only got asked once on each day. I'm so annoyed.
Me personally, I've never seen the point. I've seen, not for people who get the pictures, I think it's great when they get the pictures, but I've never understood why people ask people for pictures. You know, I mean, this is from me knowing my cousin, Sven Allen.
Yeah.
When he first dressed as Doctor, he'd get hundreds of pictures taken of him every single day when he was there.
Yeah.
Right? And I'd be like, but he's not the actual Doctor, so why should they do this? It's not that I'm against it or anything, because I think it's great to get. I've just never understood the mindset of it. Like, you know, but then I guess I would if I was like a cosplayer.
Yeah, exactly.
But I think it's an incredible thing, though, when people show you notice and they're like, "Oh, I want a picture of you."
Yeah.
I just never understood the whole, "I'm going to take a picture of this guy who looks like the third Doctor, but he's not the third Doctor. But the third Doctor's over there on the table, but I'm not getting my picture of that guy."
I think that was the thing. I mean, I have to say, I felt so jealous of, because Donna and Chantel looked so beautiful in their dresses, and when I went round as Scully, you know, I had a nice feminine suit on, and I didn't feel particularly beautiful, and I was like, you know, that's why and I felt like that was why people didn't ask me for pictures, and it's I feel kind of jealous of them.
I thought you looked great. All right, I thought you looked great. All right? I actually thought that you looked better. But no, seriously, I think that's what it comes down to sometimes. I think you looked all right. I thought you looked good. You looked great in the outfit, you know? I thought you looked fantastic.
I thought I looked badass, but yeah.
You know?
That sci-fi fan cam was awesome to do.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not saying anything. I'm just saying, you know, I mean, I think that helped. Because, like, they look so lovely in those dresses and that. Whereas I went round, and I guess maybe people didn't realise, even though I had the badge on and that, maybe people didn't realise I was in costume technically, I don't know. Maybe they thought I had awful hair, you know.
What, but you were like one of those weird people that just dresses up and goes places just randomly.
Yeah, exactly. I was just randomly going around in a suit. I will say though, can I say, like I say, I looked, so you'll see them when I upload them on Facebook and that, but I will say, I looked friggin' awesome in my photo shoots wearing that suit. I was just like, dude, I look amazing. I was just like, hey look, I don't know how. For somebody who was absolutely shattered, I mean, look, that's my
Yeah,
nice
no, that was great.
toilet.
That was great.
So, but yeah, but it was nice and smart at least. But yeah, so.
You know
But
what?
yeah,
I
I was
think
just like,
the thing is, to be fair, you can't really compare because it's completely different parts of the geekdom.
yeah,
You
yeah,
know,
yeah.
you've got the TARDISes, and then you've got Scully. It's completely different.
Oh yeah, I'm not like saying. I'm just saying that they look so amazing, and I think a lot of it comes down, like, for people asking people for pictures, and I mean, we've talked about the who was that person thread that's on the forum. And I think a lot of it comes, you see some of the comments of people are like, oh, she was so hot, this, that, and the other. And I think, unfortunately, it does sometimes. I mean, we were joking at the actual convention about these people that do cosplay, like the women, and they wear like these skimpy, like slutty out costumes kind of thing. It's like,
Yeah.
what is the point, kind of thing.
Well, you know what? Donna said, "You effing rocker, Scully."
Thank you.
I think the problem is, I think it all depends on if you see the right people.
Yeah,
We got to remember, is Doctor Who is more well known now than X Files at the
yeah, exactly.
minute, by newer fans.
Yeah.
Once X Files comes back, I'm sure if you went to Comic Con, you'd probably get more pictures.
Oh yeah, yeah,
You
exactly.
know, because
And that's not why I do it, and I'm not talking about this to make me feel like, like make myself look all, please make me, I'm just saying it is a big deal in, obviously, I think a lot of it comes down to that with the attention kind of thing. So.
I think anyone who dresses up for Comic Con wants attention. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
Right? Otherwise, you wouldn't do it, would you? Let's be
No,
honest.
exactly. It's like, what's the point of doing it if you're
The whole point is to get some, especially when you make your outfit or you make it in a way that you're wearing it, and you want people to go, oh look, what a great outfit, what a great costume, what a great, oh you're great, get a picture with you. Sure, people want that. But at the end of the day, that's great and all, but you haven't got those pictures. They've got the picture.
No, yeah, exactly, yeah.
Right. So at the end of that, you haven't really got those memories of those people unless they tag in their picture online, which they're not going to do because they don't know you.
Exactly, yeah, exactly.
So I think it's horrible when you don't get pictures with people, but at the same time, it's not like you're ever going to see those pictures.
No, exactly.
If I went to Comic Con, I got a picture of you, I got a picture of Donna, and Nia Chantel, and with the different things on and stuff. That would be on my Facebook. You'd be able to see it because that would be there. So you'd be able to go, wow, that was a good pick. But because you don't know those people, you're not going to get to see how great those pictures are.
No, exactly.
Plus, who knows what those people want the pictures for?
I will say, I did get this picture with somebody. You might not be able to see it. Oh no, it's not going to show.
I like that.
So, because they wanted a picture with me, that's a bit blurry. Unfortunately, my camera's not focusing.
That's good.
But they wanted a picture with me, and then I said, well, can you do one on my phone? So I managed to. But did you see the one that's on my Facebook that Jane took, where there was this guy dressed in Star Trek outfit, but for some reason he was going around with a Mulder ID badge. I was like, okay. He chatted to us when we were going to the car park. It was so funny because he saw me as Scully.
Is that the guy who had the belly in the Star Trek outfit? What was like red?
Yeah.
The one where you've got like Jane standing beside him with like the Star Trek thing on.
Yeah. And then he's in the middle holding the badge, and then I'm on the other side holding my badge up. Yeah.
Yeah, there's like 3 of them, isn't there?
Yeah, there was something like that, yeah.
I know, because...
But it was so funny that he was in Star Trek outfit, and then he's going around, and because he stopped us to talk to us about my X-Files outfit. And it was so funny that he's going around holding a Mulder badge when he's dressed in Star Trek outfit.
It's weird. I mean, just look at what Jane was wearing, all the different stuff
as well. All the different,
But I think that's, to be honest with you, that's what Comic Con's about. It's about dressing up as whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
If I went to Comic Con, I'd want to dress up as a jester.
Oh yeah, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, and just start and smack people on the bum as I walk by.
There were pictures of yeah, can you imagine? You just want an excuse. There was a picture of some people that were going around as luchadors I was just like,
Nice.
okay.
Were they topless?
No, just had the masks on.
Yeah.
They had like suits on, and then he's like the masks. I was
They
like,
should
okay.
they should have had tights on and
Yeah,
topless with the mask on. That'd have been
yeah.
awesome.
But apparently, just having the mask on was enough to go, oh, I want your picture.
Hey, who knows? Who knows what they
But
were
it's
doing?
also, you know, like you say, it's fun even just to do a whole. I mean, look at Jane's thing for her, and apparently somebody commented on it. Her sci-fi fan cam where she was wearing Star Trek. She had a Harry Potter necklace on. She had a Minion hat on, and then she was holding onto a Captain America shield. It's like, okay. And only at something like Comic-Con can you go around with the biggest mixture of geeky stuff
There's
on
two
possible.
places. It's either at Comic Con or if you're homeless.
Yeah. Nice. That is.
Oh dear.
I can't believe it's coming up to the time again.
That's crazy, isn't it? I hope everybody's had
We
fun
didn't
watching.
really. It's nice of Blu-ray Dan to turn up, but otherwise we've not.
It's
We didn't
always
have
good to
anybody new people.
Well, I'd like to say one thing. I'd like to say it's great that Donna was here and niece
Yeah.
Chantel, you know.
Yes.
Hi
Hi Chantal.
Chantel. You don't know me, but hello.
John made it. Despite creepy name. He's creepy Ted. If you know creepy, you saw creepy Ted. So I should show you. This is I've been meaning to take the picture, haven't I? This was.
Oh no.
This is Milk Ted after LFCC.
Oh shit. And he still looks good. He just looks like he's got a lot of pussy white stuff on his face. You know, like big massive
like his eye. Yeah. Just all sideways and that as well.
But I've got to say, it still looks good.
But do you like this? I made this harness up using my Halo lanyard. I made a harness up so he could hang on my stick, so he could go round with us.
So you had the Milk Ted hanging on your stick, moving about, with my face on it.
Yeah, it was like la 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 la.
I really, really wish my cousin had bumped into you guys and seen that. That would have been awesome.
That's probably why he looks so rough. But yeah, look, I had this whole harness made up. I was trying to figure out. I was like, I wanted to carry him around, but obviously I couldn't just keep him in my bag. You know, like having to keep taking him in. So I was like trying to figure out a way, and I was like, how do I carry him around? And I didn't want it getting in my way of my costume and stuff like that. So I took this with me, and then managed to figure out the fact that I managed to figure out a way to strap him up and get that around him is yeah.
I think that's impressive, actually.
So, but it is. I may have to make up a new one because he's getting a bit dog-eared and that.
Yeah,
so
you're gonna have to. You're gonna make another one. Look at his face.
Poor creepy Ted.
I think about it. He's been on some great adventures before that finished. That
he has. He's met Kelly Hugh and he's met. He's met Costa Swindler.
Really? He's been in all these incredible places.
He's freaked some people out and that. Can you imagine? So yeah. So Chantel, who you're seeing now is creepy Ted.
Yeah, that's me.
Yeah.
It's great to be able to let loose knowing that you're with people you love and trust, and among thousands of others in the same mindset who won't judge you.
Exactly.
You know, that's very true. And I think the problem is you could dress like anything, you know.
Yeah.
I could walk in there probably with just in my underwear. People would go, oh, that's Super Sumo from the TV show. Let me take a picture of him, you know, because they won't care. I could probably get money from inside my pants, you know. They're not going to care because it's like an incredible thing, you know. And I think that is what's so good about Comic-Con.
Oh, look, I went in as my pantomime version of Doctor Who. I'm going to send you that video sometime so you can have a laugh at it. I went as that because it was my version of Doctor Who, and you know, I just wanted to do it as a laugh, and you know, for somebody to still turn around and go, "Can I have a picture?" and go, oh, I thought you were the fourth Doctor because of the scarf. And the fact that I knitted that scarf as well, you know, it's kind of cool for somebody, like you say. I mean, like you say, if you went in your underwear, somebody could still go, oh, you're so-and-so from so-and-so. And the fact that I went as a parody of the Doctor, but not actually as the Doctor, and still have somebody say, can I have your picture, is pretty
My
cool.
cousin did something really funny. A few years ago, he asked this girl who was in this anime costume
Oh,
if
yeah.
he could take a picture of her, and he said to her, say Hufflepuff,
Oh, God.
right? And she did it, right?
Oh, really? Yeah.
And it was after he showed the picture, so I went, no, it's from an anime. That isn't Harry Potter.
No.
And he went like this. He went, he felt so stupid. It was just so funny.
Yeah. But it is, mate. It is so nice to, you know, the fact that, I mean, you know, you can chat to people in the queues and stuff, and you can talk to them about anything, and they'll know what you're talking about more than likely. You know, like Donna says, you're in a room, you're in a big place with so many people, for the most part, that are like-minded. I mean, we've said, unfortunately now, a lot of people just turn up because it's like just something that goes on, but...
I'll tell you what amazes me. Whenever I've gone, all I've ever heard is when I've been in, you know, lines. It's men going, oh, that woman over there, she's so hot. I'd like to give it to her. And I'm like, what woman? And they point over, and I'm like, really?
Yeah.
I'm like, you're married? And he goes, yeah, well, you know, I can look. I go, no, I don't even look. What the fuck? You know, mate, it's just, you know, it's just one of those things where I'm just like, I can't believe people. You know, people are strange, you know.
I still laugh at the one. I was chatting to a guy in a queue, waiting to get into the building. This was when the doors first opened. And I was chatting to him, and then he got a call from his mother, who was waiting for him inside. And he was this fully grown guy and everything like that. And it was just so funny. He was like, oh, I've got to go meet my mother now. And he didn't ask for any contact with me or anything like that. I thought we'd had a good chat. And then he went off to see his mother. I was like, oh, bless.
Was he like this? Was he like this? Was he like this? Hold on. Was he like this?
Put your beanie on, yeah.
Yes, mummy. I'll be there in a minute, mummy. Oh, please. I was talking to this one, mummy, but I'm going to ignore her now because you're more important. Mummy, I'm going away.
It wasn't quite like that, but it was kind of funny because there was that moment where, you know, I'd had a good chat with him, and he was like, I've got to go meet my mother now. I was like, oh my God.
So you had a good chat with him. You were like, I'd love to switch details with this guy and hook up.
Yeah, I don't know.
Just for me.
So you didn't switch details with me or anything. I was just like, well, screw you then.
How long were you talking to this bloke?
Huh?
How long were you talking to this bloke?
We were stood in the queue for a good while, so no, I think this was me on my own. So I was probably talking to him because we were stood outside the building, so I was probably talking to him for like a good 15-20 minutes.
Hey, 15-20 minutes, they could have got a date, eh?
I think he was meeting Jenna Louise Coleman or something, so...
Oh, you should have looked for him.
But, well, you know, whatever.
Like, this is what you know that, like, I remember one year I read the story about this guy. I think it was on the forums.
Yeah.
He was looking for this person that he'd met, and this was doing sitting down somewhere.
Oh yeah.
And he said he said this woman was wonderful. She was beautiful. She was all this, and we want to meet her. I want to see her. I don't know what happened to her. Right? All these other blokes put in the forum. Oh, she went home with me, buddy. You know, all this stuff, and he never responded. It was like a free, free post.
Yeah.
I think I deleted as well after a while. But I remember when I used to go, look at them like you do.
Yeah.
But it's funny how things like that happen. You can have whole massive conversation with people in queues, and then straight after it's like you never existed.
I know. That's what always. And like I say, I mean, I look at the who was that person thing, thinking, oh, maybe somebody, because I have. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, is normally I wouldn't talk to complete strangers, and I think that's something, me and Donna have talked about, is, we wouldn't normally talk to complete strangers, and yet there's something in that environment where you just, you're all on the same level kind of thing, so you talk to them, and the fact that nobody wants to have contact with me is just like, oh, okay, fine.
Well, you got to remember, he's probably under his mother's thumb.
Yeah.
You know, if my
Well,
mum
I'm just
calls,
talking generally from,
uh,
the people you end up getting chatting with, kind of thing.
if my mum called me, I was in the kid, I'd be like, "Hey, mum, how you doing?"
I mean, that guy that we chatted to at the end, the guy with the Star Trek guy with the FBI badge, he was quite friendly. I wouldn't have minded, keeping in contact with him, but,
So let me
not
get
like
this right.
that.
Let me get this right. Let me get this right. The guy
I'm
told you
looking for
to.
pickups, let's
Let's
be
have a look.
honest.
So if the doors open at 8 and then they close about 6,
Yeah.
you could get 4 people's numbers an hour. Right, let's have a look. How long is that? Let's say 4. Yeah. So you could get a good amount of numbers.
Yeah.
You'd take them all, would you?
I don't know because nobody's ever traded information with me.
But if they did.
I don't know.
Oh dear.
No, just seriously. I'm just saying, it would be nice if somebody, at least, you know what? I think, it's not helped. I've had a rough weekend, so I'm just feeling like, but I'm just like, you know what? It would be nice if somebody could go, you know what? You're interesting enough for me to want to have something to do, like keep in contact, not
I can see
anything
it now.
else.
I can see it now. Hi. You're dressed up as Scully. I'd like to keep contact with you. I live on the other side of the country. But maybe one day I can pop down to
Hey, I
Andover.
wouldn't mind if they lived in America. I wouldn't mind moving.
Yeah, you might meet somebody in Seattle. Right?
Yeah.
Think about it. Remember, that'd be weird, but that'd be awesome, wouldn't
That
it?
would be creepy, yeah.
But think about it, right? I live on the other side of the country, but I'll pop down and I'll see you.
Yeah.
And when he turns up all nice and thinking, and he turns really strange and he goes, "What was that at the window?" And you go, "I don't know." And then all of a sudden Mulder comes in and he starts kissing Mulder. How would you feel?
Just, I was just reading Donna's comments. Sorry, I got distracted.
Maybe they are as shy about asking for client as we are. It's not because they don't like us. Maybe they just like to be asked. Not. Oh, you know what? If a man doesn't ask a woman, he's a bit lazy.
Yeah.
Right?
I'm sorry. I'm old-fashioned. A man should ask the woman.
You know what? We're not. It's funny you say it because when I met Donna online, she asked for my contact details.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Yeah, but then I didn't. But that was interesting at the time. But anyway, that was because it was an interesting period. But what I'm saying is, I think if you're at something like a convention, I think it's awkward because I think
Yeah.
it's kind of awkward in the sense that you don't know if someone's in a relationship or not. You know.
No, exactly.
I don't think I'd want to ask a woman unless she told me she was single.
Yeah.
And I think one has to hint at being single, hint at being interested in order to get close to that. Because I think most men nowadays, they're like, well, I don't want to get in trouble with the possible boyfriend or husband or,
Yeah.
But yeah, I think a man should ask because I think it's a man's job to show that kind of, that confidence.
Yeah.
And then I think in a relationship, a man has to be very dominant, not with his woman, but with people around him.
Yeah. I know what Donna's saying. I'm just joking, but no, I completely agree.
But yeah, I think the man should ask, and I think the man needs to have the balls to do it.
Yeah.
But I think what Donna's saying is very true. I think it's like that. Years ago, I was really shy. I would have probably not asked a woman asking me would have worked. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So
exactly. You can be just as shy as each other. So yeah.
Yeah. So I think it's 50-50 each way.
Yeah. Exactly.
But yeah, as I've grown older, I'm more confident. So I'm more like, yeah, that guy needs to drop his ball, get the balls in his hands, give him a kiss like this, and then say it.
Yeah.
So anyway. Oh dear. I guess it's that time again.
It is that time.
Ah. It's been a good chat.
It has. Yeah.
It's been really good. Yeah, it's been awesome.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay.
It's so exhausting. Are we doing the usual?
Nah, I'm just gonna turn it off and be like, screw everybody.
Bye. It just.
Yeah, I think we should. I think we should head off now because I don't think we've got any more comments, have we?
No.
No,
I
we
was
haven't.
looking on the YouTube channel, but nothing.
So no, well, I think it's been a good chat. I'm very grateful for everyone who comes in and comments.
Yeah.
It means a lot to us because what's this? You didn't have to ask for romance. You didn't have to ask for romance. It's a great way to make friends, both male and female. Means that a guy may want to be a friend, but may worry about seeming creepy and ask a woman for contact that he may give the wrong impression. Do you know what, Donna? I'm telling you this right now. If I ever visit England, I'm in Cocon. I'm going to come straight up to you and I'm going to say, "Can I have your contact details, please?" All right. And I'm going to do it in the most creepiest sense. Like, can I have your contact details, please? I think that'd be really fun. I should go to Scotland. Can I have your precious contact details, please? But I agree. I do agree.
No, I completely. Yeah, I wasn't. That's what I'm saying. When I talk, I wasn't talking about like after any kind of romantic connection. I was just generally.
No, that was hoping for later.
Yeah, that's hoping for later. But, I was just talking generally. It would be nice to people to not judge you like looks-wise and stuff.
I think the thing is with places like Comic-Con, I think we all want to make friends there because it's like one big family. It's like it's like army ants. They all work together, and at that moment, everybody at the convention is like army ants. They're all part of the family.
Yeah.
And I think we all want to have a connection with people there, whether it's friendship or not, because we want to feel like we can meet people who love the things we love.
Yeah. Yeah.
I spoke to a guy in the queue about Crystal Lambert for an hour.
Yeah.
Straight after that, he shook my hand and said, "See you in Stevenage sometime." Well, I didn't have no contact details for him or anything, so how would I know?
Yeah, exactly.
But this is the way people are. People are not very relatable nowadays. They're not very. They don't think. Then they might get home and go, "Oh, you know what?
Yeah, I was just going to say that's the thing when you see on this who was that person thread, and they're like, "Oh, I was chatting to this person for ages and I left and I didn't think to say, goodbye or didn't get their details or that." And it's unfortunately in that kind of situation as well, as you're rushing here, there, and everywhere, and the last thing you're thinking about sometimes is getting people's information, kind of thing.
Ooh, look, Donna said you can have them now, Malk. Ooh. Yeah.
Yeah, but you won't answer her phone calls. So.
No. I can't. I told you, I can't. One Donna is enough. I can't.
We haven't had
I can't be answering to another one. Oh, imagine the man tried getting. Oh, who's on the phone, Mel? Oh, that's Donna. That's not. That's just saying Donna. Yeah. What? But yeah, I've got to be careful because of.
Yeah, we've not had a phone call this
no,
chat.
I think it came before actually. I think it came just before. We better say our goodbyes anyway. Yeah. So would you like to go first?
I want to thank everybody, as always, so much for being here. I've really enjoyed this chat. We've covered a lot of different things. As always, especially Donna for her ongoing support, as well as John, who very kindly turned up, even though it's very difficult for him to get here with his job and stuff. It was nice to see Blu-ray Dan, who unfortunately didn't comment anymore, but glad he popped in. And of course James, who was here briefly at the start and end. But sad not to see people like Luke and that, or Alex. It's they seem to have disappeared into the. So yeah, but for anybody who watches this, because I know, like I say, Malcolm shared this on several forums and that. If they check it out after the fact, please subscribe to Malcolm. Malcolm's awesome May to December channel, and if you get a chance, please check out Sketchney. There will be more coming soon, especially this week. If my arcade block comes, there'll be an arcade block unboxing, and that'll be the be all. It'll be the decision whether I'll be continuing with them. Because if it's shit, then I will be stopping the arcade
How
one.
can it be bad if it's got a Funko in it and 2
Two
shirts?
shirts. Yeah, exactly.
If that's the final nail in the coffin, that's going to be incredible.
That'll be amazing. So we'll see how badly they fail on that one, hopefully this week. But yeah, no, please check out our other chats even, and anybody who checks this out after the fact, please leave comments and questions. We'll address them next time and stuff, or even reply, because I know you've replied to like Hannah in the comments before, haven't you? So,
yeah.
But yeah, no, thank you so much everybody that tuned in. Please check out our channels and videos, and looking forward to next week, our 36th edition.
Yes.
So,
incredible.
Thank you so much, everybody, for the kind support and words.
I'd like to thank everybody for coming. Tash basically mentioned everybody, but I shall say them again. Just so people don't think I'm leaving them out. I'd like
oh, I shan't tell. Sorry.
No, what I was going to say that make you look bad then.
Oh.
Well, anyway, I'd like to thank Blue Dan and Don and Donna, Chantel and James, and I think that was it, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And I thank everybody for coming. It means a lot. The support is incredible, and without you guys, we wouldn't have the amazing chats that we have.
Yeah.
So I'd like to thank everybody for that, and I'd like to thank Tash for being here. You know, great
thank
chat buddy.
My partner in crime.
Yeah, exactly. Incredible partner in crime. And,
partner in heists.
Yes. Partner in heists, partner in crimes, partner in almost everything.
Wow.
Anyway, yes, I just realised.
Moving on. You'll start the rumour mill again.
Oh dear. Anyway, I'm going to. I need to say bye with 5 stars. I've gone by red a lot.
Yeah.
So thanks everybody for watching, and take care, and please subscribe to both Tash and me. The link is down below. If you want to subscribe to Tash, it's Sketchney, and my subscribe button is obviously where every other subscribe button would be. So as always, guys, thanks for watching. Take care and have a lovely evening or day.
Have a lovely week, everybody.
Bye.